that the season's over for the Gold Coast Suns, so they've decided to check out early.
No, not everyone is born as talented as other people, right? But one thing that requires no talent is being on time. And yet, here we stand, you and I, ready to go for this game this afternoon. There's no sign of Richard Champion. There's no sign of Simon Black.
Well, you speak about Richard Champion first and foremost. There's no talent whatsoever in his body at all. He thinks he's got a lot, but he doesn't. He tries to go to a lot of different areas in his life, and he's not very good at any of them. So I think that's why he spreads himself the way he does. But you talk about Simon Black, an absolute champion of the game, but this is the one thing that he could always struggle with. He was always 1 minute early.
Was he?
Like if the meeting was at 2 o'clock, he'd be there at 1:59. He loved his sleep, and unfortunately today he's been caught out. I'm not sure. There must be a bit of traffic on the M1 coming down.
Well, this game's due to get underway at 2:10. So if he's not here at 2:09, I mean, look, not to harp on it, we know Richard Champion's probably been held up doing his hair. But for Simon Black to not be here, 300 games plus, 3 premierships, Brownlows, best and fairest All-Australians, he's done it all. And yet here is the first real black mark on his record.
Well, I heard he may have been down in Melbourne last night at the Lions game.
No.
So he may have missed his early flight this morning and been a little bit delayed. So we'll wait for him to arrive, but this should be a cracking contest.
Well, on the upside, and we will get to the game, but on the upside, Rocky, for the first time in Triple M footy history, we have the Amy halftime clanger in prime time.
Wrapped up in 1 minute in.
Because we've started the broadcast and 50% of the call team hasn't turned up. So there we go. You can pencil that one in. We'll have that ready to replay for the boys at halftime when they actually show up. Let's talk about this game. Carlton first and foremost. Now, we've got Patrick Cripps. What's he at? 180 games. This is his 180th game this afternoon. Hasn't played a final. And yet a win today, and for the first time in Patrick Cripps' illustrious career, he's going to have September action.
Yeah, I know his pain. I went through 204 games of no finals before I tasted my first one, and it's such an amazing thing to be able to play in them. Dave Swallow as well for the Gold Coast Suns, who's early
219, is that?
As well. So, I mean, they're not going to play finals again, but Paddy Cripps deserves the opportunity. Everyone deserves the opportunity, particularly after 200 games. You've put in the hard yards, many pre-seasons, so it's a good opportunity. But I look back to the game earlier this year, round 14, 2023, the Blues took on the Suns at the MCG. That was defining for both of these footy clubs. I mean, a couple of weeks later, the Gold Coast Suns lose their coach, and Carlton have gone on 7-0 since then. So they've won 8 on the bounce. They won the week before, and then they've just really kicked on from then. They got hold of the Gold Coast Suns in that second half, or pretty much after quarter time, the Gold Coast Suns. So that game's been defining for both of these teams, so I'm really looking forward to watching Carlton. They're the most informed team in the competition at the moment, and I think they're firming as one of the favourites to win the grand final, and that's how much they've improved. And there's been so much chat this week, particularly around how Collingwood are going. They're 1-3, and you've got to be a positive record. History tells us from the last 10 years that you need to be a positive side in your last 5 games to go on and win the premiership. No one's done it being 2-3, and Collingwood sit 1-3. You're talking about the Carlton Footy Club at the moment. They've got the best form in the competition at the moment, so they've got a really good opportunity. I'm looking forward to watching them live today to see how they stack up.
This is Triple M Footy Prime Time for Jim Beam. It's set to be an epic match, and that's worth raising a Jim Beam. Drink responsibly. Let's talk about Harry Mackay, this bloke who's missed the last month of footy. Coleman medalist. He is a towering figure on the field, and naturally draws defenders' attention when he's out there, but yet there's been some suggestion as to whether he should be an automatic in for the Carlton because they've been going so well without him, particularly the former Charlie Curnow.
Yeah, he's a walk-up start. There's no doubt in that. It's a bit silly, the chat around it. I think his role may change a little bit, though. I think he has to play a bit higher. Curnow's the main man inside 50, and also Carlton's forward half pressure, forward 50 pressure was as good as they've been last week. He doesn't bring anything to that. He's not a tackler. He's not a pressure player. We know what he can do. He's buff head and he's got his issues in front of goals. Play higher up the ground. Play as that traditional centre-half forward that we don't see anymore, the Nick Riewoldt type. For the listeners out there that would have seen Nick Riewoldt play, get up the ground. Be that guy for Carlton. Be the connector in between. And you don't have the nerves in front of goal. We know that Nick Riewoldt wasn't the best set shot in the game either, but he's got to play higher for me. He's got to get up the ground, do all that grunt work. Let Curnow stay deep. Let him be the man inside 50. Let the smalls put the pressure on. Be the connector. Be that traditional centre-half forward.
It's not just you and me that have done our job professionally today and turned up on time. Belinda Mellon for Bob Jones T-Marts. Bob Jones T-Marts have great buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply. Belinda is always here on time. B, how are you?
Yeah, it goes without saying, gentlemen. The inference that I may do anything else is slightly insulting, but anyway. That's why I sit down here on my own.
B, what are the conditions like down there?
Oh, delightful, delightful. And if Champs and Blackie managed to get here, they would see too that it's a perfect 21 degrees. Great day for it. Slight breeze you'll see from the Suns flag flying, and that smoke haze is actually infiltrating the stadium, as we mentioned, fire at Bow Desert and burn off at Canungra. So it is smelling a bit smoky, but no showers, no wind. It will be a perfect day for footy. The Suns here are Darcy McPherson. The Suns sub is Darcy McPherson, and for the Blues it is Ed Curnow. It's going to be a cracker, boys. I cannot wait. And hopefully, as I mentioned, Champs and Blackie get to see it too.
Yeah, well, frankly, B, if they don't turn up, I think you can invoice on their behalves and you can get triple pay for today, because if these two think they're putting in a full invoice for today, what are we? We're 7.5 minutes into the broadcast. One of them's turned up, Simon Black.
Simon Black.
And with no sense of urgency whatsoever.
Strolled in.
He was having a chat with some... What is going on? Simon Black, good afternoon.
Jeez, my heart rate hasn't been this high 10 years ago. G'day, guys. Hi, everyone.
I was letting planners know you weren't great with time. You were never late. You were always that guy that got there. If we had a meeting at 2 o'clock, you were there at 1:59. You were always borderline, weren't you?
I used to call it perfect timing, right? But there we are. The ball hasn't been bounced, but
you've beaten Champs. Yeah. You're not even the last one here. So at least you have that to your name.
He's sweating.
He is proper sweating.
No, apologies, guys. That highway between Brisbane and the Gold Coast is horrendous today. I think there's the air show down here, Flanders.
Well, Pacific Air Show's on, yes.
You Gold Coast residents, it's easy for you to throttle in here, and
So it's not true that you had a big night in Melbourne last night?
No, I went to the game last night. Great contest down at Marvel, but no, I was tucked into bed straight away, nice and early after it. Rock and here I am.
Hard to believe.
Yeah, well, it's great to have you here finally, Simon Black. We've just been having a conversation about Carlton and where they find themselves. A win today, locking in finals for the first time in a decade. You and I spoke earlier in the week on Footy Talk on the Listener app, that daily podcast, about your old teammate Michael Voss and the composure he has kept throughout the roller coaster of the Blues season. It's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And talking to Luke Power, who's obviously at the Blues, coach of the VFL side, and a couple of people around the club. I was actually in there on Thursday, visited him at the club there, and they were all very impressed the way he held his nerve. And he's such a tough man, Bossy. He's such a tough player and great character, and the way he conducted himself throughout that really challenging period was really impressive by all at the club. So, yeah, gee whiz, 8 wins on the trot, and as you said, opportunity to play finals footy for the first time in a long time. And as you said, also Paddy Cripps, what a star he's been, and played a lot of footy now, so very worthy, as amongst a lot of his other teammates, to finally get a crack hopefully this season.
I like that you said that before he turned up in the box, which meant he was listening in the car.
He was still in the car. He was just going through the drive-through getting his McDonald's coffee.
Listen to you, Blake's bag to Hello Camp tonight.
Hey,
we didn't bag you.
Richard Champion is, and he's probably still in the car right now. Champs, the players are heading to their positions. I'd get a hurry on. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. On the Gold Coast Sun side of things this afternoon, Rocky, I mean, look, they can't make finals, but they can still upset the apple cart a little bit. And they almost did it last week against the Swans. It's not like they're rolling over in the back half of this season. We expect Damien Hardwick to be announced early next week as their new coach. How do they approach today's task?
Yeah, they're reporting Monday morning. I think that press conference may take place. But last week they got beaten around the contest. Their on-ballers got out-hunted in that contest, so they'll be looking to rectify that. Matty Rao, Tuke Miller, Noah Anderson, as they run out to their positions now. But they've got to find targets inside 50. Their skill level and execution going inside 50 to that tall timber needs to be better, and I'm sure that Dimmer will be working at that next year.
And a new face as well out there for Suns fans to keep an eye on, number 38, Lloyd Johnston, making his AFL debut. He's a young rebounding defender that comes from the NT. We'll keep an eye on him this afternoon. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy, let's get this first quarter underway. As Pitnet and Witts jump up, jump high. Hewitt, hands and knees down. He's fighting Anderson. We're going to have a ball up.
Two ruckmen were having a little dance there to start proceedings.
Does Tuke Miller get a job this afternoon, Blackie, do you think? Is there someone that naturally he goes to as he gets the clearance away? Kick partially smothered. Rowell up and down v Hewitt. Good tackle laid on Anderson. Another ball up.
Yeah, we should see if he goes to Paddy Cripps. He's does such a great job nullifying some great players, hasn't he? And finds the ball himself. So we'll just wait to see how this plays out.
He took on Lockie Neal a couple of weeks back in the Q Clash. Errol Goulden last week. Here's Flanders for the Suns. First clearance, puts it out in front of Chol, who expected to fill the hole of Ben King this afternoon. They're not taking any risks with their key forward, their star Ben King this afternoon. Ball up left half forward, umpire directing traffic. Again, the dance between Big Witsy and Mark Pitnet. Stepping through the traffic nicely was Sexton. Good handball corridor found. Miller took Miller inside forward 50. Swallow got caught behind Sard. Sard did well, brought it forward. Swallow kept his feet. Was it a dangerous tackle into the deck? Umpire says no. We'll have a ball up 45 out from the Suns' goal.
Strong tackle from Marchbank early in this contest. He was spoken about so much last week, whether he touched a footy on the line or not, but for Carlton fans, he would have been walking down Lygon Street and not paying for a thing this week, I would have thought.
Ball still 45 out from the Suns' goal. A free kick going against Matty Rao. He got a piggyback on Hewitt, and Hewitt just dropped at the knees straight in the back. Free kick. And here's Fisher off half-back. What about the rebirth of Zach Fisher off half-back the last few weeks? Seems a different player. Doherty going to dump it long down the line. McAndrew will be the extra number. Hasn't this man grown this season, McAndrew?
Hasn't he, White? Just the ability to do exactly that. Intercept mark has been superb for the Suns' back line.
Took Miller racking them up rapidly at the moment as Atkins spears it in. Flanders stops, props, eventually loads up, finds Roses. Roses takes the mark, plays on, snap around the body, first to the Suns. Malcolm Roses Jr. took the mark, played on, and the Suns draw first blood.
Yeah, they look like they're up to this contest today, the Gold Coast Suns. They've come to play. They look like they're outworking Carlton at the moment, contest to contest at the moment. They're on ballers. As you said in the call there, Flanners, about Tuke Miller, just his ability to get contest to contest at the moment is exceptional. And on the Red Z lending stats, he's up to 3 already. So he's not putting, it doesn't look like he's putting any time into anyone. So he may be in for a big afternoon, try and fill his boots up this afternoon, Tuke Miller. So great start from the Gold Coast Suns.
I just love the way too, Rocket. Rose has just got the mark there, 45 metres out, and just played on, just backed himself. And last week against the Swans, he kicked the 3 goals. He was superb. So good to see a young player back himself and take the game on.
Triple M Red Z Lending stats, Red Z Lending loans for the self-employed, redzed.com. Simon Black, Tom Rockcliffe, Liam Flanagan, Belinda Mellon, your call team, Richard Champion, not here.
MIA.
Still has not arrived. Officially 13 minutes late. We'll keep tabs on that. Triple M Red Z Lending stats says Sard exits defensive 50 for Carlton, finds Hewitt to Doherty down the line. Collins, easy intercept mark for the Suns, goes corridor, finds Flanders. He's also getting busy. What a rich vein of form he is in. Since Stuart Dew left, Sam Flanders has exploded. Here he gets it back from Andrew, forced to go backwards. Carlton pressure is good. Lemons wide, Lukosius. Mark it.
One boot on.
14 and a half minutes late. Richard Champions just walked in. Inside forward 50. Good hands from Swallow off the deck. Sexton around the body. Top of the square. Chol bumped it through. Is this a goal? Touched over the line. Minor score. 1-1-7 the Suns. Carlton yet to score. Triple M Shell scoreboard. Shell V-Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL. Good afternoon, Richard Champion.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's unlike you to throw me under the bus, Flannis, but welcome, everyone.
Did you have an MC gig in Bali or something last night?
It's a little cashy, but that's all right. How are you, boys?
Where have you been?
What, this start early or something? Did it?
Yeah, it's 2:15.
So the AFL have brought this game forward. Not sure why. There is an aviation show on here this afternoon, so it might have something to do with it.
Hottest part of the game.
I'll let you get yourself sorted, chaps. Out of bounds on the full, out of side.
What are they thinking? Hottest part of the day, champ?
Suns with the footy.
Uncanny, unheard of.
It's only been on for 6 months. You'd think that you'd probably be aware that it's on today and everyone would be heading down the coast.
Ball in dispute, right half forward. Ellis around the body. Chol in best position, guarded the area, couldn't bring it down. Swallow, good tackle. Akers got the handball away. Sard clears the danger momentarily. Good mark taken out of side by Newman, left half back for the Blues. Been all the Gold Coast Suns to start this one.
I'm not sure they've been over halfway yet, the Blues.
Well, they're in pretty good form, aren't they? Gold Coast were very good against Sydney last week, just unable to sustain it for the entirety of the match. As Lemons drops the mark he should have taken, but butters up okay. Okay, into the side this week, of course. Chol, as he is, tapped it nicely. Now whistle on play. It'll be a free kick to Chol, but advantage is paid. Now Lukosius is just wondering what to do here. He will go back and have a shot on goal. About 48 out.
We spoke about it in the pre-game about Mackay coming back into this team and how they should set up. I think that Curnow should be playing the deepest. They've currently got Mackay deep. He should be playing that centre-half forward role, get up the ground. He's the one that needs to play that centre-half forward, Curnow deeper. So we'll just keep an eye on that, see if they change that. Mackay's found his way up to the half forward or half back line now for Carlton, so he may be playing the left side of the ground and Curnow on the right, but I'd prefer Curnow to play closer to home.
Might just need a little bit of a settling in period, maybe, Rocky. He's been out for a few weeks as Lukosius comes in. It's gone across the front. A big Levi did his best, but Wiedering was there to tap it through for a behind. So, as the boys mentioned, it's all been the Suns so far. 1-2-8 now. The Blues yet to score. 6.5 gone first term. Triple M scoreboard.
Shell scoreboard.
Did we sound good in the car, Champs, when you were driving?
Harry Mackay's not the only one who might need a settling in period here. Richard Champion's still getting himself sorted. As Mac Andrew. This man has settled into AFL footy really nicely this season. Sends it long. Probably not the ideal kick. There was no one back there for the Suns. It'll be a free kick to Carlton.
But that kick coming in front is just to the pocket, just slightly to the left from the top of the goal square. It's amazing if you just hit the top of the goal square. It allows your small forwards to come into play so much more. And just a poor execution of the skill in that instance.
Cunningham gave it to Pitnet. Not sure Tom Rockliff's a fan of ever giving the football to a ruckman in general play. They've turned it over. Ainsworth inside forward 50. Lukosius has to go against two. Did well to bring it to ground. Ball in dispute. Fisher now forced all the way back to his goal line.
Clever.
Kick goes wide. Finds Hollands. Now Carlton have got some space on the outer side to work with. Short pass finds Cottrell.
Red Z lending stats. Gold Coast have gone inside 50 8 times. Carlton yet to go inside 50.
Wow. Quite the contrast here at Heritage Bank Stadium. They go down the wing. Ballard gets a hand on it. The Blues, though, now Hollands up towards half forward. Mac Andrew probably dropped what he should have taken. His free kick was at hanging on. Advantage played. Cripper towards goal. Their first score, yes, but it's a minor. So the Blues on the board. Solitary behind. Suns at 1-2-8. 7-point the diff. 8 minutes played first term. Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Again, they haven't done any damage here yet, the Gold Coast Suns. They've won the territory battle, but as we said in the pre-game again, their delivery inside 50 is not where it needs to be, and that they need to take...
Oh, Mac Andrew getting on his teammate's shoulders. Took a big one over Chol. Releases Ellis quickly. Clever kick around the body. Finds Flanders, but he dropped the mark. Chance now for Carlton. They couldn't expose him on the other way. Flanders did well to fight for the footy, gave it back to Ellis, pops out to Swallow. Now Chol in some space. Has all the time in the world. Has Sexton on deep. Has an option in the pocket. Saw Sexton late. Couldn't get the footy to him. Still landed in the lap of Alex Sexton. Goal! Suns have got two. Carlton haven't turned up yet a bit. Richard Champion-esque. Triple M Shell scoreboard. Shell V-Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL.
Yeah, the Carlton Footy Club look like they're still sitting around the lazy boys around the pool at the moment. They've on the Gold Coast. They're very relaxed. They haven't got jumped in this game at all. And in that instance there, again, the Suns turned the ball over. Well, they kicked him from a kick-in, really, but they transitioned the ball on the outer wing far too easily. And Marbio Chol had so much time and space, as we said, Flanders. Put it to a really good spot, top of the goal square, 2v2, and Alex Sexton there at ground level just nicely drove his legs through I guess it would be tackler and snapped from a pretty sharp angle. So great start from the Suns here.
And the VFL scores were reflected of exactly the same way this game's going. The Gold Coast Suns had a massive 127-point win against Carlton earlier today. So Carlton Footy Club, they were disappointed in the VFL and they haven't come to play at the start of this game in the AFL.
Going this one up.
So umpires have deemed they're going to throw this one up. It's for McDonald's or Ream Hot Water, Triple M, Rocks Footy. Cripps out of the air, but it didn't cover the required distance, says the umpire. So Akers, quick kick. Out of bounds, though. It'll be a Gold Coast free kick. Just wondered, Blacker, did you get thrown under the bus as well? Just on your late arrival, or was it just me?
Nothing like you, Richie.
Good to know.
Blacker at least made the bounce.
Okay. Good on him. Down the line. Down the line, Wiedering, little give off to Cripps was good. Under the pump was Dow, turned it over. Handball was good. So, Ainsworth, clever little kick to Levi, takes it 52 out, wheels around, gets on with the job straight away. Who's he got down forward? Was it a free kick or a mark? Either, take your pick. It should be a goal. And Roses Jr. No, it's actually Sexton in probably his farewell game. Maybe. I reckon Sammy Day got put in for his 150th last week, was omitted this week. Maybe it could be Alex's certainly last home game and potentially last game. It looks like that Stephen King is offering some of his players that have been around the club for a long time a bit of a farewell, which is a nice gesture. And so's that kick from Alex Sexton. He's got a couple. And the Suns are off to a flyer here in the first term. 3-2-20. The Blues one behind. 11 played first term. Triple M Shell scoreboard. Shell v Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL.
The Blues look lethargic, Rock, don't they? They've had a massive 8 weeks. Obviously, the only team since round 14 they haven't lost. Been superb. But their energy levels look really poor.
Yeah, they certainly do. They don't look like the informed team in the competition, even though they are that. They almost look like they've just turned up, expected to roll out there and roll over the top of the Gold Coast Suns today. But the Gold Coast Suns have been in some pretty good form over the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks. We know that they beat the Brisbane Lions here, so it's not going to be a walk in the park for Carlton. They need to switch on really quickly here, and just to back those numbers up on the Red Z leading stats, they're up to 10 inside 50s now to Carlton's 1.
It was a finals-like intensity last week in the win over Melbourne. You wonder if there's any fatigue factor at play for Carlton as Tuke Miller takes it away from the middle, slapped it in front, kept it moving forward. Newman met it full-chested, gave it to Hollins. Dow is upended as he tried to kick the footy. Hollins kept hunting it. Big brother Elijah played in the VFL game beforehand where the Suns absolutely thumped Carlton, essentially knocking them out of VFL finals contention. Suns look on track to be the minor premiers of that competition. Here they're looking to cause another upset. Ball in dispute, centre wing near side of Heritage Bank Stadium. Fisher goes backwards, finds Kemp, danced inside. Bailey Humphrey, who's shaved off the locks.
Yes.
A little unfamiliar for the B-Bear. And we'll have a boundary thrown right half forward for the Blues.
Who is that man? Looks very different, doesn't he?
He was hard to pick up last week.
I wonder what they're going to do with his statue in Maui, whether they'll have hair on or the bald hair.
It's a big call.
Right, they need to build him a statue already, champs.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just whether you go with the locks or whether you go with the shaved
We
box.
know yours would be
Well,
locks.
mine hasn't changed for 46 years.
Just peroxide.
So, all right. So quick kick forward, free kick. It'll go against McKay. Sammy Collins to take the free kick. So the forwards just struggling for the Blues. Harry probably just finding his feet again, being back in this side. But the timing couldn't be any better for their launch towards finals. Now that could be a free kick against Levi, and it will be. So Wiedering will take it. He wants to give off to Fisher, but he was minded at that point in time, so he'll go back.
No movement.
Position, whistle on play.
Slow, aren't they, Rock?
No movement in front of the footy at all for the Carlton Footy Club at the moment.
Hollins to Dow. Dow now inside 50. Where's these big forwards we speak of? Nothing doing so far. Ball free, whistle on play. It's a Blues free kick.
The ex-Gold Coast Sun, Martin.
So Jack Martin will receive the free kick, probably only 20 metres out, 45-degree angle.
That's what happens, though, when you get all these tall targets inside 50 for Carlton and none of them lead. It's easy for the defenders to come off and get that aerial support. This is where they need to separate, get some movement about themselves. That's why I'd play Mackay up the ground as your traditional centre forward. Curnow deeper one-on-one. Try and drag Collins out of that contest.
So it looks like Jack's going to turn this one around the corner with the white boots. Casually rolls in. Oh, he's missed that. Well, that was very laconic. He knows this ground very well. And he has missed an ideal opportunity for the Blues. So they move to 2 behinds now. 3-2-20. 18-point ball game. Favours the Suns.
Escaped to the outer side. The Suns from the kick in. Lukosius got rid of his direct opponent late, but couldn't take the mark. We'll have a boundary throw in. This week you can score 20% off your entire order when you spend $10 only on the My Maccas app. The McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M Rocks footy. A beautiful afternoon on the Gold Coast. Round 23 action. Carlton looking to guarantee themselves final action, and here they go away from the stoppage. Dow put it out in front of Doherty, and then Lloyd Johnson. The first game, it was beautiful, steaming off half back. Straight line the footy, and it's rebounded over the line for a throw-in, just forward of centre for the Gold Coast Suns. 3-2-20 with an 18-point lead over Carlton, just the two behind Triple M Shell scoreboard.
He was. Lloyd Johnson came forward really hard then to defend, made a decisive decision and impacted that contest beautifully. So great little start from the debut player.
Good crowd on offer, as you'd expect with the Blues. Travelling here to the Gold Coast. De Koning got the tap down. No clear winner though. Buderick. Handball over the top. Cripps couldn't keep it in play. He was minded by McAndrew really well. And we'll go over the boundary line for a throw-in out of side. 60 out from the Blues goal. As the boys mentioned on the Triple M Red Z Lenders, they haven't been inside 50 much. But there's De Koning. He's trying to make amends. Just puts it to the top of the square. It's going to beat everyone over the line for a throw-in again out of commentary side, I should say. Stop laughing, Rockcliffe.
Harry McKay's first touch of the Sharon. 4 weeks out.
Great to see Connor Buderick back too, Funners. He's had that ACL injury, a long time out of the game. He's been such a solid contributor defensively for the Gold Coast Suns, so great to see him back.
Yeah, he was a real find as that lockdown small defender. Darcy McPherson has been really impressive in the absence of Connor Buderick, and he is the sub this afternoon, so it shows you how highly they rate Connor Buderick at the Suns as we have a ball up inside Carlton's forward 50, still goalless with a touch over 9 minutes left to play in this first term. Carlton on an 8-game winning streak, looking to make it 9. Mackay went to work, won the footy against Joel Cunningham. Quick hands over the top. Doherty found Dow space. The kick is a dribbler. Motlop, dangerous. What a famous football that name is. Lloyd Johnson with his first kick in senior football clears the danger for his side. Really nicely done. There's a big collision. De Koning's on the deck. We'll keep an eye on him as the Suns fan wide. Find Ellis. Forced to snap over the shoulder. It's going to work out in the lap of Roses Jr.
Roses Jr. takes it. Wants to get on with the jobs. He's got Wicks driving by, but Rockcliffe says don't give it to him. He's over 6'5". That's not going to work.
Oh, they're out.
Sexton, clever kick. Finds his teammate in Ainsworth, puts it through. Really good passage of play. The quick movement off of half-back is what did the damage. And you just got to spot your teammates up. When that happens, it's exactly what they did. Sexton to Ainsworth. He's got his first. Gold Coast have got their fourth. They're 4-2-26. The Blues are 2 behind. 18 played first term. Triple M Shell scoreboard.
I know you're trying to wrap up Sexton's career and retire him today, Chevs, but he's been outstanding to start this game, hasn't he? His work there on the Harvey Norman replay at ground level just crumbed that contest beautifully, and his vision to find that target inside 50 was exceptional. Really classy start from Sexton today. He's kicked the 2 goals and also set up a goal assist to go with that now.
Carlton really clearly got to find something here. Just look really de-energised, and those 50-50 contests, the Suns, that midfield brigade of theirs that we know can really be strong and potent there on top here. So Carlton midfield really need to lift.
Simon Black, Tom Rockcliffe, a couple of former Brisbane Lions captains on the Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Inside forward 50, Carlton go to Koning, having a rest down there. Doherty stepped inside really nicely, went on the left to a 50-50 contest, no mark taken, ball in dispute. Oops. Stepping through is Curnow. He's on track to win his second consecutive Coleman medal. Should have had the kick himself. He gave the handball, holding the football, free kick. And it's the big dinosaur, Jared Witts, laying a tackle in defensive 50. Suns have taken the advantage, though. Outer side, Lukosius, time to assess. And he's thrown a barrel. A barrel down the wing. It has travelled 70 metres and hit Marbior on the chest. He looks inside 50. Well, you would not believe it. The Suns are going to kick another one if Fiorini doesn't get the ball to boot in time. Swallow's going to clean it up. Goal to the Suns. Go back to Jack Lukosius, having the audaciousness to kick a standing barrel from right half back. That's what set it up. Suns have got their 5th and they are running hot.
Well, that might be the best goal the Suns have kicked all season. That was an absolute cracker, beautifully caught fun. It's the audaciousness of Lukosius just to go to the barrel, and it just floated here, there and everywhere through the air, but it landed in Marbio Charles' lap, we see here on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, and then from there they just thought their way through it beautifully. Good speed on the ball. They got the outnumber ahead of the ball. That was the key there. Almost got run down, one of the Suns players there, Rock, but good enough with their hands to get it to Ainsworth. So who was it in the end?
Swallow,
I should say, who snapped truly. So Gee whiz, the Gold Coast Suns on fire here.
Are they what?
Newman had the chance. He had to either stand the mark or stop that momentum, and didn't he? He went for the all or nothing play and missed the contest completely.
Rocky's just reached for the dictionary to find out what audaciousness means.
It's staggering that you're giving any type of feedback today.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Wits again. Inside 50, it's not going to reach Levi. And Sard, who again is another one of these players for the opposition now who knows this ground very well. Wits just stands up each and every week for this club. And he really does. Feeds it off. Johnson, a little kick over the top is okay. They're just doing as they please at the moment, the Suns. They've got no answer, the Blues. They're just reactive at the moment. So this is interesting what Michael Voss is going to do at quarter time, because he needs something to lift as the Suns go inside 50 again. Levi, he was out-muscled on that occasion, was out-positioned. Fisher, little give to Sard. His quick kick. This is where they set up the wall. Here's Matty Rao on the left. What's he got forward of him? Sexton in front. Couldn't quite pull the mark down. Butterick comes in over the top, forces a ball up. So the pressure's good from Gold Coast all over the ground, and particularly in their forward line. They're keeping it in there, and it's giving them options, opportunities.
Ball up. Pitnet grabs a hold of Wits. Ball now in the hands of Cottrell. Good pressure from Swallow. Coming through at pace was Flanders. Cottrell got back on the football, have a ball up. We talk about the composure of Michael Voss, Blackie, during this tough mid-season period for the Blues. His composure will be tested right now.
Sure will.
His team are absolutely nowhere as Swallow again, snapping around the body for 2 in a minute. Couldn't bend it back enough. Dave Swallow, minor score, 5-3-33. The margin is 31 points in favour of the home side. For Bob Jane Teamarts, Belinda Mellon.
Yeah, speaking of Michael Voss, Patrick Cripps came to the bench a short time ago, and there was a very animated conversation between the pair, exactly how they're going to shut this down and improve things. They've also held up the little power cue card, so plenty of moves being played on this Carlton bench. Some audaciousness as well. So, and welcome champs to you, I might say.
Thanks, Belinda. All right, so the Blues, to Koenig, got it to Newman, got it forward, Martin, little handball to Motlop was okay. That's better movement by the Blues, but really nothing forward of them here for Cunningham. Has to go back. Little quick kick by Cottrell to the top of the square. Charlie working hard. Again, the pressure's really good, though. Curnow somehow got a hand over the top. Motlop's going to run onto it. Overran it, though. His pressure was good. Second, third efforts, that's a lot better. Michael Voss will be happy with that. But at the end of the day, it spills out to the Suns again. And they're going to clear. Anderson needs help. Got it eventually. Levi's come up the ground and taken the mark. So they've worked really well to get out of pressure. Levi, that's a bit audacious. In towards the centre corridor, but they were lucky enough to get a ball up. Hey, we're talking about Sexton before. You think he'll get a contract next year, do you?
Well, he started the game sensationally. I don't like to retire players on commentary calls, that's for sure, but it'll be his decision or the club's decision at the end of the season, but he started this game in hot form today.
29 years of age, former club-leading goal kicker in the early days for the Suns. Footy on half-back, Doherty goes wide, Fisher. Zach Fisher, a player that Carlton would love to retain long-term, super talented, but starting to become a bit of a salary cap squeeze for the Blues.
You are aware he's only played 6 games this year, Rocky?
I'm just saying that I'm not finishing a player's career up.
Newman, the former Swan, down the line. Atkins now. Had Cripps put the pressure on, couldn't take the footy cleanly. Hands and knees was George Hewitt, another former Sydney Swan out there for Carlton. We're going to have a ball up centre wing. No, holding the football.
Wow.
Free kick going to Carlton. The ruling from the umpire was that Flanders hatched the footy. So it'll go to George Hewitt. Right on the logos, commentary side of Heritage Bank Stadium. 31 points to lead. Carlton goalless with 4 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in this first term.
The ball long. Just inside forward 50. No, it's not. It's punched away easily by Ballard, though, against Charlie Curnow, who comes down a little heavy. Let's go to someone who's not afraid to speak his mind and put his gonads on the line. Simon Black, Alex Sexton, will he play on next year?
Yeah, I think he will. I think he'll be used as a bit of a fillet, a bit of a backup.
Who is this bloke?
I think they'll keep him.
Okay. Glad I turned up this afternoon.
We're not.
That was Tom Rockcliffe with his not so super special comments. Ball in dispute. It'll be a ball up. No, pushing the back. Well, just when you think he's going to call some ball ups, umpire comes in and plucks out a free kick. So Humphrey, with that almost disguise on his head. It's a shaved bonce. He's very hard to pick up. Not used to that. Drives it long. Marbior, he pushed his opponent out early to no avail. But crumbing is Matty Rao. Puts it to the top. Oh, a bad mistake there by Cottrell. Drops what he should have taken. Another snap on goal. The Blues have the defence there. It's hit the behind post on the full. So free kick to the Blues.
Yeah, Harvey Norman replay. Cottrell just by himself in the corridor, straight through his hands.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Save up to 25% on Acer computers. Acer Aspire 3 now $388. Save $110. Limited time at Harvey Norman. Doherty out of the back pocket for the Blues. Comes down the near side as Owies. Have not seen a lot of this Carlton forward line. He's had to come all the way up to right half back to get a touch of the footy. Owies for the Blues, and we're going to have a ball up. Choice Hotels around the ground. There is another game going on at the moment. A farewell game for two of the game's greats, Trent Cotchin and Jack Rewalt, playing their final games. They currently trail Richmond. They are currently losing by 8 points against North Melbourne. That game midway through the second quarter. We'll keep you across that one. But here it is the Suns by 31 points. And Rao got out the back of the contest. Just got legged as he went to kick the footy. Then got a bit of a make-up free kick from the umpire for too high.
It was a make-up free kick, Flanners, because he ducked into that.
Probably wasn't there, but the umpire also missed the legging. So Matty Rao stands at 55. Runs around the man on the mark. Lowers it. Chol! Getting back just in time was Marchbank. Rushed through for a minor score by Wiedering. 5-4-34 the Suns. Carlton just the two behind, a 32-point margin on the Triple M Shell scoreboard.
At this level, the reaction time, you can just notice that the Carlton defenders are just a little bit slow. When the ball hits the ground in the Suns forward line, they're just off, aren't they? They're just not defending tightly and quick enough.
Doherty was looking for McKay. Unsuccessful. Quick kick forward here. Now here's a chance. Marchbank. Hollands, I should say, inside the forward 50. Here's an opportunity. Oates, dispossessed. They've been very good defensively. McAndrew, his kick is a little astray, but they're just getting enough to get their hands on it. Collins has met heavily, needs to get rid of it, does. There's a wall of players coming through. Miller says, get out of my way. Got a handball just away in time. Now the ball with Roses Jr. Flicks it out to Witts. Ellis, quick kick, beautifully presented. Swallow, almost a one-hander. He could have gone inboard. Ainsworth was running into a goal, but he'll go back, and the former skipper will have a shot on goal 40 metres out.
No, spot on. Footy club at the moment, they're just half a step off, aren't they? Everywhere across the ground they're missing those tackles, those opportunities where Gold Coast are just going after this game. Tuke Miller just came through with speed and wanted that footy more than anyone else and won the footy and delivered it inside 50.
1 goal, 1 so far for David Swallow. That was a little shot around the corner. This one is straight at the goal, but he's just started it right and it stayed there. So, gee, they're doing all the attacking. Stephen King will be very happy with his charges at quarter time, how they've gone about this game against the Blues, who have won 8 in a row. 29 played first term, 5-5-35 the Suns. 2 behinds to the Blues if you just join us on Triple M Footy.
Report coming through from Belinda on the boundary that Paddy Cripps has gone down to the sheds. That'll be something we no doubt get a report on after the quarter time break, which is coming up very shortly. Bob Jane C-Marts, they've got great buy 3 get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply. Carlton with a late surge forward. We're inside the final 30 seconds. Kerno bends it towards the goal square. Good body work from Cottrell. All he has to do is pick the thing up, snap truly, goal to the Blues. With 20 seconds left on the clock in the first quarter, finally, Carlton register a major, and the margin is back to 27 points on the Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Yeah, that's massive, isn't it? And what a great one-on-one contest there from Charlie Kerno on the It's where the 50 connects with the boundary there. He just had to beat Charlie Ballard. He did that beautifully, tapped the ball in front, put it to the top of the goal square. It was another one-on-one contest we'll see on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. And what an athlete Charlie Kerno is. It was great to watch live. And Cottrell there, Rob, he just shoved his opponent on the board. snapped beautiful in the end. Massive goal for Carlton. They really needed that before the quarter time sign.
They certainly did, yeah. Good contest. The big couple of contests there for Carlton. They needed that goal to get some momentum heading towards quarter time. They're still in this game. They're not that far behind, but they've certainly been out-hunted and outplayed at the moment by the Gold Coast Suns.
That will be enormous. Just that one goal will instill a bit of belief again for the Blues. From McDonald's, Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Matty Rao, though, has something to say about it. Swallow! What a great contested mark. He was going back. He had no right to mark that. There was two defensive players who were going to fly over the top and punch that down, and Swallow will have a kick after the siren.
You ever seen Michael Voss have kittens, Blackie?
Oh, I have once in Shanghai once. It's a story I'll tell you off air, but yes. Might have been Brendan Favola, might have been the reason.
Okay. Well, we can't wait, and we'll report back on that after this kick from David Swallow. He's got two. What a first quarter by the Gold Coast Suns as we go to the break. They will go to 6-5-41. The Blues are 1-2-8. What a term. Stick with us here on Triple M Footy. We'll be right back after this with the second term for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy.
That quarter for Shell V-Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL.
For McDonald's,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
this week, score 20% off your entire order when you spend $10. Only on the My Macca's app.
You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly.
quarter for Beacon Trade. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
It was all before Carlton. They turned up here in the Gold Coast knowing a win, and they are guaranteed finals football for the first time in a decade, and they didn't come out of the rooms. Gold Coast Suns jumped them 6 goals 5-41. They have a 33-point lead at the quarter-time break. 1-8. Carlton only getting a late goal thanks to Cottrell, Liam Flanagan, Richard Champion, Tom Rockcliffe, Simon Black. First things first, if we can go down to Belinda Mellon, because I'm curious to know what Michael Voss has looked like at this quarter-time break and what the latest on Paddy Cripps, the captain, who went down into the rooms, was, B.
Well, I can tell you the look of relief just came over Michael Voss's face, because Paddy Cripps, literally, as you spoke, has re-emerged from the rooms. He was down there for a good 15 minutes with the team doctor. No apparent injury, except that he was down in the rooms with the team doctor, so that's definitely concerning. He was running freely as he returned to the huddle. You saw a slight smile creep across Michael Voss's face, no doubt. He's animated, he's serious, he's very forthright with his messages, but that's nothing that we don't know from Michael Voss from day to day. He is a serious competitor and is exactly as you would expect him to be with this scoreline, gentlemen.
Nice work, B, down there. I mean, we've seen the message being delivered there, as B said, very sternly, but what is the message right now at that quarter-time break for Carlton?
Well, all we can hope that is that Carlton were on the bus that Richard Champion was on, and they've turned up at quarter-time. We see a much better performance. I mean, hopefully they've just had the first quarter off and they come to play. He's just got to get back to what's made him good over the last 8 or 9 weeks. It's been their pressure and contest. We haven't seen that in this start to the game. The footy hasn't lived in their front half, so their small forwards need to get to work, lock it in the front half. Their on-ballers need to get after it, get after the contest. Don't let the Gold Coast Suns win at the contest and drive it forward. That'll be the main factors. And then ball movement-wise, start to get your footy shifted.
Absolutely. The inside 50 counts, plus 11 to the Suns. Real domination, as we said, in that first quarter. And the marks inside 50, the Suns had 7 marks, and the Blues have yet to have a mark inside 50. So plenty of improvement required from these Blues.
Well, good news for the Blues. Paddy Cripps is back in the centre and about to do duel right now for McDonald's Areem Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. So from the stoppage, they go forward again, the Suns. They pick up where they left off the first term.
Oh, dangerous tackle.
Oh, that's an interesting one. It'll go to Swallow, who was that last goal kicker after the siren. He'll put it to the top of the square. Levi in good position. Wiedering, though, took that from him. Punched away. Witts gave a little handball to Fiorini towards goal to the left-hand side. Didn't really put any damage on the scoreboard there. It probably should have been a better kick, but just to the left-hand side, Blackie.
Yeah, you know, in Vossi, you just want competitiveness. That's what we want from here, as you said, Rock. Just get in there and crack in and just give yourself a chance to do what you've done the last 8 weeks, and that starts with being competitive.
8 wins on the bounce for this Blues side. If they want to make it 9, they're going to need to start hitting the scoreboard. Great attack on the footy from McKay. Hands it off. The running Cunningham sent it wider to Curnow, who is 80 metres from home. Needs someone to come towards him. Martin did in a half-hearted sort of fashion. Stepped inside the tackle, dropped the football. Apparently that's not holding it. Sitting atop of him is Touk Miller, hands and knees. Anderson gives it to McAndrew. Clear and kick wide. Centre wing out of side. Wiedering and Casbolt. Not going to turn on a dime either of these gentlemen. And Wiedering goes all the way back to centre half back. Pitnate finds Newman.
Gee, terrific hands by Wiedering. Newman switches play here, finds Kemp.
They're out here, Mackay. Strong lead. Oh, no.
Oh, the kick. Well, I'm not sure who that was meant for, whether it was Hollins or whether it was McKay, but he went in the middle of him, Rocky.
Yeah, shocking kick. Mackay worked really hard then. He was up the ground on the other side, made the contest, then worked back to goal, and then presented it up the other side of the ground. His work rate was outstanding then.
How was that handball from Jacob Wiedering? I couldn't kick it that far.
30 metres, Blackie, and he was an absolute ripper. Doherty tackled by a couple. Got it to Cripps, though. Paddy, you've got to get rid of it. Well, he was lucky not to be pinged. Quick kick forward, Collins. That's a free kick against Mackay. He was facing away from the footy. Not one moment did he put his eye on it. So Collins in good position. Switches it to Lemons.
Just a bit top heavy at the moment, Carlton's forward structure, isn't it? Mackay down there, Curnow and DeConing as well. 3 tools. They need a bit of mobility around that at the moment. They look a little bit slow and one-dimensional.
Atkins.
They either need to give themselves a bit more space, get the one-on-one contest, or go a bit smaller in that front half.
Atkins had options of plenty. He ended up up. They've turned it over here, the Suns.
Cottrell comes inboard, finds Newman, handball off. Oh, outside of the boot, the kick wasn't great. Now they've turned it back over. If Sexton, who Champ says is retiring at the end of the game, releases, he's been amazing. Alex Sexton's probably going to be in the votes at this point. And Champs has got him hanging up the boots. He found Chol. Chol kips forward. Swallow will go back and kick at number 3.
Wow. Again, it's just the way the Suns are just doing what they want at will. There's just no pressure from the Carlton Footy Club at the moment. It's just really disappointing. Michael Voss will be spinning chips there on the sideline because it's just that Suns offensive, just doing it at will.
5th shot on goal already for Dave Swallow.
David Swallow next year will go past Trevor Barker for the most games ever played without playing a finals game. This is game number 219, and he's hit the post. Suns got to take the opportunities. They don't want to open the door for Carlton to get back into this. Minor score margin is 34 points, beg your pardon. How's my maths on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard? It's hard to bring it back in for the Blues.
We better apologise to the Sexton family as well. We've retired their son today. Unfortunately, you may not be in the stands, but Richard Champion put a line through your son's name today.
Goodness me. So the Blues, away from half-back. Just getting the kick away. Doherty to Coney, comes and meets it. Here's Sexton. Geez, he's playing well. He probably deserves another contract, I would have thought, next year. Lemons, short kick is good. Finds Mac Daddy. So Big Mac. Mac Andrew, I speak of. Launches it towards the 50. Marbior, well, he thought about flying and then thought better of it. Saad, though, he loves running away and having a bounce. That kick is pretty good. Charlie Curnow's a long way from home. He's got Ballard on his tail, and Ballard caught up with him and applied a tackle. They still have the numbers outside. They're going to end up with it eventually. Motlock gets it. Kick forward. Where's it going to bounce? Lemons is pushed underneath it. Now we'll retain the footy. Gives it back to Witts. He's got options aplenty. Ballard is one of them. Beautiful kick. Finds Flanders at left half back.
Still the Suns do as they please. Through the middle they go. Miller lowers the eyes. Joel came on a good lead. Marks 50 out. Just led Kemp to the footy, and easy as you like. Bang! Spots up Lukosius, 30 out directly in front.
It's like they've changed jumpers before this game, isn't it? The way they're playing at the moment. The Gold Coast Suns look like a finals-bound team, and Carlton look like a bottom-4 team at the moment. There's no doubting that at all. Gold Coast's will to out-pressure and outwork the opposition at the moment. They're just outnumbering all contests and all facets of this game at the moment. They want it more than what the Carlton Footy Club do in the first part of this game.
This is a pitching wedge for Jack Lukosius. Directly in front. He's made a home for himself in the Suns forward 50 this year. One of the best kicks in the game. Nails it. And the Suns are thumping Carlton. A 40-point lead on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
Yeah, it's that space that the Suns have been allowed by the Carlton Footy side at the moment, isn't it? We keep talking about it. Just no pressure, no defensive pressure. And the Suns have been elite with their hands to extricate from in a congested area to someone in space and using the ball going forward. They're at the 9 marks inside forward 50 at this point. Red Ed's lending stats. Individually, for the Gold Coast Suns, Flanders is leading the way with 14. Miller's had 11. Noah Anderson 8. For the Blues, Doherty's had 10. Newman 11. Doherty's had 12. Newman 11. And Hollands 8.
Can we just check in on Alex Sexton's numbers, please, in his final game of footy?
Sexton's had the 8 touches and 2 goals.
Outstanding.
Goal assist.
Outstanding. Alex, keep it up. For McDonald's Areem Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Pitnet tried to take it away from Witts. Quick kick forward now by the Blues. Charlie's going to come out and meet it. Well, he was going to turn on a dime, and he's been fortunate to get a free kick here. He slipped. The pressure come on. The tackle from Butterick was a little high, and Charlie will go back and have a shot on goal, 40 out, almost directly in front.
Yeah, Harvey Norman replay. You called it beautifully, Champs. He fell over there, caught one around the chin. Very lucky free kick. They're just all at sea in that forward half at the moment for Carlton, but on the Harvey Norman replay, free kick was certainly there.
That might be a clanger by Tom Rockcliffe, actually giving me some credibility. So that might be the Amy clanger at half-time.
Wouldn't have thought so.
Who knows? Charlie Curnow's happy with that. The Blues got their second. They need more. He's trying to urge his teammates. He's saying, come on, boys, let's go. That's maybe our start. Charlie's got one. And the Blues have got two. 2-2-14. The Suns 7-6-48. Almost 8 played second term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Puts him 6 in front in the Coleman medal. He'll want a big bag today. There's no doubting that. He probably woke up this morning, sun shining, 23 degrees on the Gold Coast, thinking he's got a big bag in him, but it just hasn't panned out that way at the start of this game. They haven't had the entries that they would have liked. Tex Walker, he's got West Coast in round 24, so it's still an opportunity to try and catch him. So hopefully they can get some ball movement going here. DeConing, I like this. He's gone in the centre square bounce now. He's been in the forward half for most of this start of this quarter.
All back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy. Tom Rockcliffe, Simon Blackbridge, your champion. Belinda Mellon and Liam Flanagan. That's your call team on this spectacular Saturday afternoon on the coast. DeConing with a definitive tap, but Miller read it, gave it to Rao. Danced around Hewitt. Bought himself some space. Goes on the left inside forward 50. Good body position from Reedering, but he coughed up the footy. Chol took it. What about the gallop from Marbior? And then he spilt it. Marbior was off for a goal of the season contender, and then he knew it, and he dropped the football like a cake of soap. We're going to have a ball up 25 out from the Suns goal.
Just casual from Wiedering as well. He had that footy there to win and just half went at it with one arm, and you've got to be on. You've got to be. They need a switch here. They need to rock it, the Carlton Footy Club. They need to switch on.
Big Marbior really dirty on himself. He knew it would have been something special from the stoppage. No clear winner. Umpire will ball it up again. He's one of the most laconic players going around, one of the most athletic players too, Marbior. He's either hot or cold. He's warm at the moment. He's warming up. That's a free kick to Fisher, you would have thought. No, says the umpire. What are you laughing at, Rocky?
Well, you've gone with...
Oh, yeah, shut up. I know what I said. He's hot or cold, but he's warm. Okay, I know.
He's hot or cold, but at the moment he's warm.
He's playing hide and seek.
Seriously, I'm going at half time.
It's good to have you here for 5 minutes.
Down the line, out of side. Lemons got rid of Motlop, but Motlop found the football. Ellis wrapped up in a good tackle. We're going to have a ball up out of side of Heritage Bank Stadium.
Better pressure, Flanners, from the Blues here. Just elevated their tackle pressure the last couple of minutes. Can that build into a bit of momentum going forward?
Simon Black, Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Rowell inside forward 50 for the Suns once more. Chincotta, quick hands, got it to Newman, but the boundary line beat him, so we will have a boundary throw in left forward pocket. One of the great stories for Carlton this year is Alex Chincotta, picked up as an add-on to the list and was going to be fighting for the spot alongside Oleg Markov until Oleg said yes to the offer from the Pies, and here he is. A chance to play finals in his first year of footy.
And both playing good footy at the moment too for their respective clubs. The Pies getting knocked off by the Lions last night. Lost 3 out of the last 4. Interesting top of the ladder, as is the bottom of the ladder. Right now, intriguing year of footy as Rao tries to get that ball out of the pack. Lots of players around it. Umpire says it's probably best if I come in and ball it up, boys. Let's try to work this out and get a kick amongst you.
There's a good crowd in too. A lot of probably the Carlton fans have come up from Melbourne to get some warm weather, and it's probably more Blues fans and Suns fans here.
Quite often the case, Blackie. Ball spills out. Fisher forward, DeConing, front position. Couldn't quite. Oh, it's runnings onto this. Pushed in the back. It'll be a free kick. Will it be back there? Or will it be Charlie Curno's? It'll be Charlie's. Umpire deemed it was after he kicked it. So this will test Charlie Curnow. Not so much the distance. He'll have to kick from about 50, but it's a tightish angle. He tried to pump his team up. The last goal that he kicked about 3.5 minutes ago. This one to really get the crowd up and about here at Heritage Bank Stadium. Wanders in. 52 he launches. Is it coming around? It's coming around a bit too much. It heads towards the boundary and the Suns will probably clear it here.
Quick hands from Ainsworth. Beaten to the line again by that man Chincotta. We'll have a boundary throw in. Left half forward for the Blues. 34 points the margin in favour of the Suns. It was 33 at quarter time. Carlton just trying to get a foothold in this contest. 8 straight wins. a win today and they are guaranteed finals in 2023. They haven't been there since 2013. Quick hands. Came from Cunningham, got it to Doherty. Up and down kick just inside forward 50. Atkins, Ellis, Butterick bumped off it. Opportunity here. Cunningham stepped inside. He's got runners. Motlop snapping ball. Tackled as he kicked it. Minus score. 2-3-15 now the Blues. 7-6-48. The Gold Coast Suns on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
Yeah, much better than from Carlton. Their pressure around the footy, their tackle pressure just force that footy forward. Motlop snap on goal. And just to back that up on the Red Z lending stats, they're starting to out-hunt and out-tackle the Gold Coast Suns, plus 12 or plus 10 in tackles at the moment for the Carlton Footy Club.
Atkins brings the ball out. Blues are going to turn it around though. Motlop's kick inside forward 50. Lemons did really well, just kept it in front of him, still goes. And a nice little handball as well. Miller's going to be on the end of it. What's he got forward of him? He's got Marvior, who's got a paddock, and he could go over the top to Alex Sexton, who's BOG at the moment. Sexton grabs it, needs to do some fancy work, and it's just through for a behind. He did really well. There wasn't many other options on, so he had to have a ping at goal. Blackie, what did you see?
Oh, Marbio, big Charlie, he had to hit Sexton. He's had 40 metres of space. He just put it right in front of him, butchered the kick. Would have been an easy goal to the Suns. Missed opportunity.
Carlton not out of this. There's a long time left in this game, and we know the sort of footy Carlton have been playing over the last couple of months. They've got the ball centre wing in the hands of Owies. The former basketball player goes down the line. Curnow just stretched back with one arm. Ballard did well, but that contest is one to keep an eye on. Dow sends it in. Cottrell's in a wrestle against Buderick. Rushes through for a minor score to the Blues. 2-4-16 now. The Suns 7-7-49 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. We've got 9.5 minutes left to play. Half-time Choice Hotels around the ground. The other game going on at the moment. Richmond have a 22-point lead over the Kangaroos at half-time.
Lukosius is going to run onto this one. Quick kick forward to no one in particular. Sard's there, needs some support, and he's got it initially, and the Blues are going to get a free kick here, and they're going to pay advantage. Wiedering short little kick is okay. Finds Akers inside forward 50, ill-directed. That'll make it hard for Jack Martin. Goes over the top of his head. Collins. Little handball's okay. Johnson had to do his best. He butters up and does okay. Dow, clever to Doherty, inside forward 50. Charlie's pushed underneath it. He's got to end up with it though. Curnow's got 2. And the Blues have got 3. They're starting to just find their mojo a little bit. You just sense it. They've got more inside forward 50s now, more opportunities for their forwards. And they now move to 3-4-22. The Suns 7-7-49. 15.5 played, second term, Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah. Rock, do you reckon Brandon Ellis got the ball, the sun was in his eyes, or where do you see that one?
Harvey Norman replay. We're just getting a second look at that. Ballard did everything right to protect Ellis there with the contest, ability to go back. No, I don't think he did. I think he just missed it. Thought that there was a bit of pressure coming, but Ballard did his job. He kept Curnow out of the contest and went straight through. Just took his eyes off it late. I don't think the sun got in his eyes. Blackie, I'd like to stick up for him, but unfortunately he's coughed up a goal there to Charlie Curnow on the Harvey Norman replay.
Save up to 25% on Acer computers. Acer Aspire 3 now $388. Save $110 at limited time at Harvey Norman. Ball back in the middle. Carlton looking to fight their way back into this contest. Free kick going to go the way of the Suns though. Just a clumsy tackle from Cripps on Fiorini. Fiorini hands it off. Anderson overcooked the kick. Rare mistake from Noah Anderson, who has had a season that should put him in the conversation at least for the 40-man squad All-Australian. Inboard come Carlton. Mackay wanted it back from Motlop. Motlop instead went wide. Search and kick towards the Curnow direction, and why wouldn't you go there? Has he juggled it? You bet he has.
Wow.
This is a special sort of player.
That is the blueprint for the Carlton Footy Club, isn't it? Not Mackay up on the wing, your traditional centre half forward, takes the mark, wheels inside, finds the uncontested mark in Motlop, gets it to Akers, overlap run, Curnow the deep one-on-one inside 50. That is how the Carlton Footy Club need to play if they're going to do some damage in September this year.
He's such an athlete, isn't he, Charlie? Goodness me, the ball that's on the ground or in the air, he's a headache for anyone.
Came into the game with 70 goals to his name and a 5-goal lead in the Coleman race. Now he's got 73 for the season. The buffer is 8. Charlie Curnow is dragging Carlton back into this one on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. The margin is back to a very manageable 21 points with 7.5 to play in the second term.
Sure is, Flaz. Game on, and I love the way. Great observations from here. Charlie Cameron is dragging his side. He's getting his boys up and about. He's sticking his arms up to the cheer squad behind the goals. He's on the Gold Coast. He's probably, if he wasn't playing footy, he wished he'd be out there surfing at the moment. But he is up and about, enjoying the sunshine here on the Gold Coast.
Wow, so the Blues are coming. And all of a sudden, it's a different looking team. McDonald's or Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy, Pitnet to do the ruck work against Wits. No clear winner, but we'll give it to Pitnet. Georgie Hewitt, little kick inside forward 50. Well done by Johnson. But here's Jack Martin, clever little kick, and he's found his teammate in Owies in the pocket. Tough kick, tough angle.
Come back, Braden, with me. Keep coming.
But the wind probably favours him a little bit. It's blowing towards that end. He might be able to just drift it in. We're talking about the northern end of the ground here at Heritage Bank Stadium. Seems to be the scoring end. The wind does favour it by probably a goal or two. He's going check side here. And he's executed it pretty well, but it's just hit the post on the way through. So very close by Matty Owies. The Blues are looking good. That would please the Carlton faithful who have come here in their droves this afternoon. 29 plays 49, 20-point margin, 19.5 played second term, Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Atkins on the kick in. Chooses the outer side. Ainsworth gave it back to Atkins. Now Ainsworth dancing around, short kick, finds Flanders. What about the month of footy Sam Flanders is putting together?
Stand.
He was a first-round draft pick all the way back in 2017, and it's taken until the back half of 2023 for him to really find his feet. Lloyd Johnson, the first gamer, he overcooks the kick. Chance for Hewitt now in front of the interchange gates. Short, Sard. Adam Sard, the former son. Oh no, he's dribbled off the end of his foot. He's put the pressure on his defensive teammates. Good kick from Wiedering. Finds Paddy Dow. He marks, plays on quickly. Marchbank. Great to see this young man back fit and playing AFL footy. Cripper, the skipper, goes inboard. Oh no, that's a terrible hand pass. That's about as bad as you'll see from Patrick Cripps. He made life bloody awful for Brodie Kemp. And we'll have a ball up centre wing right on the logos.
It's great to see Marchbank out there, as you said. The boy from Benalla. They produce them pretty good down there, champs.
Do they? Anyone else?
Where are you from?
Yeah, Tommy Rockcliffe comes from there. Harry Morrison, there's a few of us running around here.
Tommy just wrapping himself up.
I'm probably the best of the three.
Miller. Oh, that's a free kick to Swallow, you would think. No, says the umpire. Maybe the eye was on the ball. Let's have a look on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Blackie, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, just a fair, hard contest, I think, Chance. We're seeing the Harvey Norman replay. I think both sets of eyes are on the ball, so boundary throw in there in the forward pocket for the Suns.
All right, as we throw it in. 49 plays 29, a 20-point ball game halfway through this second term. DeConey tried to take it out of the ruck. Now he butters up for a second effort. Thrown to the ground, wrapped up by Miller. 40 out from the Suns' goal.
This is our man Tom Rockcliffe comparing himself to Caleb Marchbank and Harry Morrison, both of whom haven't played 100 games of footy. Just that he's just comparing himself to those blokes. You know, just not much of a yardstick for you, really, Rocky, as the ball's in dispute in.
Jared Waite.
Now we're talking. Former Carlton. Jeez, he was good in front of goal, Jared Waite.
He was no Tom Rockcliffe, but he went okay.
Ball on the outer side in the hands of the Suns. Fiorini goes wide. Flanders again. We'll get his Triple M Red Z lending stats in a moment as Matty Rouse steams inside forward 50. Kick to the Levi direction. Here's Alex Sexton. Couldn't take it with him. Roses Jr. quick kick. Sexton pursues the footy and Brodie Kemp. Kemp just dove over the line.
Yeah, we can sense the Suns are really finding they need to lift here. The Blues have had the momentum the last 10 minutes. Sam Flanders leading all possession getters on the ground with 17. Tuke Miller has 14. And Anderson has 10. And for the Blues, Newman 14, Doherty 14, and Hewitt at 13.
Which took front possession. Swallow wrapped up. Ball spills free. Dow got a little handball away. The clearing kick for the Blues. Outer side. Well, he's got some wheels, has Cottrell, and he
clever.
grabs it. Beautiful kick too to Curnow. Now he just bangs it forward. Running onto this is Owies, and he's got it. Gee, that was a good passage of play by the Blues. They just moved the ball so quickly and so efficiently as well. More to the point, Owies, he's only 7 metres out. Oh, and he tried to give it to Harry Mackay. Umpire said no score. We'll take it back because I hadn't blown time on.
There's that cheer squad behind the goals down there, champs.
There's a lot of blue and white there, Blackie. As Owies is going to now take stock.
There's quite a few plastic cups too, I can see.
And wheel his way around and manufacture a goal. Here come the Blues. 5-5-35. The Suns 7-7-49. 23 and a half played second term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Game on our hands, boys.
They're up and about.
How good was that kick inside to Curnow? Full pace, and he snapped it around the body on the Harvey Norman replay. Beautiful kick. I missed who it was in the call. Did you pick up who it was, champs?
Was it Cottrell?
Yeah, Cottrell.
Cottrell.
Yep,
His
out of sight.
delivery inside.
And this pace that run away from.
Full speed, pressure on, and he snapped it around the corner to Curnow, then just went bang and nailed it 60 metres onto the chest inside 50. Outstanding play from the Carlton Footy Club.
Worrying sign for Stephen King and the Suns here. That's 4 on the bounce for the Carlton. They've allowed them back into this.
The bus turned up at quarter time with Richard Champion of the Carlton Footy Club.
Didn't know you were a bus driver, champs. Ball back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M rocks footy.
He does everything, Flanners, you know that.
Free kick Suns, Matty Rao. Always at the coalface for the Gold Coast Suns. Here he goes, inside forward 50. They'd love a mark, they'd love a late one. Massive contest. Bodies strewn all over the grass. We'll keep an eye on who gets up last. It looks like it might be Wiedering. Meanwhile, Miller, hands, Ainsworth, snap, spoil, goes backwards. Finds Flanders, man of the moment, man of the match thus far. The kick's not going to get to the goals, but Lukosius will mark. No, Shepherd, free kick Blues.
Yeah, gets Sexton. He just took his eye off the ball. The idea was right. The execution just not so good. And now a 50.
Lukosius is giving away a 50. 100. He's giving 100 away, Lukosius.
Wow.
Gave away the 50. Might give 150 if he doesn't get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
He's forgotten the rule.
They're going to have a shot on goal here, the Blues inside 50.
Well, it's got to be inside 50, Blackie, surely. Well, they pulled up a little short for mine. Meanwhile, Akers has it. Just goes bomb.
Curnow down off the ball too.
Oh! Martin! Laconic! Goal! Wow. Wow. Stephen King will be going bunter up in the box. That is just a gifted goal. Not only the 50-metre penalty times 2, but the lazy defence of not getting back quickly has really cost them here. It started at the full back area with Alex Sexton just putting on a Shepherd by not keeping his eye on the ball. The idea was right, the execution horrible, and all of a sudden the Blues are within 8 points. 41 plays 49, 26 played second term, Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
See on the Harvey Norman replay, the second 50 came because Lukosius stuck his elbow in the throat of a Carlton player. We see there, and that's what the second 50 was awarded for. But it's all Blues here. The Suns, if they're going to be any chance here, they need to find something quick, smart, because it's all the Blues the last 15, 20 minutes. They look superb.
I mean, Nick Newman has sold that deluxe as well. I mean, the silly by Lukosius just to throw the arm, but Nick Newman made sure the umpire saw it. Ball back in the middle. Carlton are absolutely flying. They're doing to the Suns in this second term what they were on the receiving end in the first quarter. Here's Akers again. Charlie! Curnow's got 3 for the quarter. And with 2.5 left to play in the second term, he is going back and kicking at number 4, 74 for the season on the off.
Just going to go around the corner. Leave it with you here, Flanners.
How are the hands?
Charlie Curnow's a special sort of player. Wait for the big fist. He's got 4 1/4. And just like that, the margin, if you can believe it, is back to a nothing 2 points, 49-47 in favour of the Gold Coast Suns on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
They're playing like a premiership contender now, aren't they, the Carlton Footy Club? It took them a quarter to kick into gear, but I think they need to make the change down there at fullback as well now. Ballard probably needs to shift off, get Collins on Curnow, just give him a different look, a different matchup. He's on fire at the moment, nothing will stop him. So the runners, Collins has gone back there, yeah, the change has been made now. I should be in the coach's box, champ.
All right, well, let's go down to Belinda Mellon. Thanks to Bob Jane T-Marts.
Not sure if you can hear it, gentlemen, but that chant that's going around the crowd is currently Charlie, Charlie. There's people from Hervey Bay, massive Queensland Carlton supporters have come here today. Interestingly, champs, the Hervey Bay people, they got here on time, like 2 hours north of Brisbane.
Yes.
Thanks, Belinda, for Bob Jane T-Marts. They have great 3-buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply. Suns go forward from the stoppage, from the restart. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M is rocking your Saturday afternoon footy, and the Blues have now finally turned up and playing. They're only 2 points behind the Suns now as we approach half-time. Quick little kick forward by the Suns inside their forward 50. Miller waits for it. Umpire ball it up 20 out from their goal. All of a sudden, they're starting to believe again. And with perfect conditions for forwards, Rocky, as you mentioned, I think Charlie Curnow's just starting to lick his lips now. He's got 4 before half-time.
Collins has gone to him and starting to just niggle him off the footy here, bump into him, push him around.
Sam Collins, I imagine, would be an unpleasant opponent for any key forward as Dow clears it from his defensive 50 to Koning. Couldn't get past Ballard. Good mark taken by the Suns' key defender. 80 from home. He'll look for a target. Drops it to a good spot. 25 out. Big Wits came with one hand. Couldn't take the footy. Hard to mark it with just one mitt. Pitt and Net wrapped up in a good tackle. And we'll have a ball up in the Suns' forward 50. 35 from home.
Typical ruckman thing to do, isn't it? Inside 50, think you can just go up one hand and take it.
Tried to tap it down.
That's the voice of Tom Rockcliffe, whose idea was it to the AFL to have a themed ruck round back here a couple of weeks ago, and that come to fruition. So well done to you, Rocky, bringing that to their attention. Motlop's going to be on the end of this. Could have been a free kick. Jack Martin, though, sliding across in front, taking the mark. Now, where's the man of the hour? Where's Charlie? Not going to get to him just yet.
They got a 2-on-1.
It goes via Marchbank, and they have got back, and they're fully aware of the form of that man. The current leader. Oh, that kick not so good. Chol, Martin, Cottrell. Quick kick is chopped off. Ellis, little handball over the top to Miller. His kick smothered. The Blues come forward again. Where is he? De Koning's in front position. Oh, well done by Mac Andrew.
Mac Andrews just really playing off his opponent, trying to get in front of Charlie Curnow at every opportunity here just to stop his marking prowess.
Corridors open for the Suns. Inside 30 seconds. The kick to Levi needed to be perfect. It wasn't. Carlton should be able to see out the final 15 seconds of this term. They trailed by 33 points at quarter time. And then on the back of a 4-goal quarter to Charlie Curnow, they have dragged themselves to within 2 of the Gold Coast Suns. Siren will sound. Half-time is on the way. And we have got a game. Heritage Bank Stadium, a sunny Saturday afternoon. The Suns with a 2-point lead over Carlton, 7-7-49, 7-5-47 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M, Rocks Footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly.
Shut up! The foot is on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade. A Mitre 10 gift card is the perfect gift this Father's Day.
Half-time, Heritage Bank Stadium, round 23. Gold Coast hosting Carlton. And it has been a tale of two quarters so far. The Suns came out in the first term and punched Carlton in the face. 6-1 in that first term. A 33-point lead now at half-time. It's only a 2-point margin. Carlton, off the back of Charlie Curnow, delivering 4 goals on his own. They have dragged their way back into this game. For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks Footy, Liam Flanagan, Richard Champion, Simon Black and Tom Rockcliffe, your call team. This is the halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade. Belinda Mellon on the boundary line as well. A Mitre 10 gift card is the perfect gift this Father's Day, or I would say maybe, Tom Rockcliffe, the perfect Father's Day gift for our two blokes, Simon Black and Richard Champion, might be a watch.
Or an alarm clock
to
or something.
Find out, because in case you've missed it, these two gentlemen, well, Blackie at least made the bounce, but Richard Champion turned up 14 minutes into the game.
It wasn't 14, was it?
It wasn't 14 minutes, but
oh, come on.
I have been told, Jude Bolton, City Swans legend, 300+ games, premiership star, he's listening to the call. And he has sent me a text. I wasn't aware of this, Rocky. Apparently our man Champs calling last week down in Sydney.
No.
20 minutes late for that one too.
No. Tell me it's not true, Richard.
Yeah, no, it's true. The Virgin Airline from Brisbane to Sydney.
What is going on?
Well, I'm about to tell you.
If you're late
was
one
an hour and a
week,
half late.
You make sure you're an hour early the next week.
You don't.
Thank you, Dad.
What's one of the junior coaching rules of footy? You don't follow up a mistake with another one. And yet, are you rostered on next week?
No, I'm not.
This might be the end of
you.
you.
I think this is it. Me and Alex Sexton.
We're off to a 5 a.m. beach session tomorrow morning now because of you. We're all got to go and swim.
I know, because that's if someone's late, the whole team suffers, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So luckily we cover you pretty well because we make less mistakes when you're not here, champ. So it was outstanding.
Hey, Blackie, let's look at the numbers, the Triple M Red Z lending stats from that first half. And we know Sam Flanders has been outstanding. Who are some of the other high ball winners?
Sam Flanders had the 20 touches. He's been superb. Tuke Miller 16 for the Suns. Atkins on 12 for the Blues. Newman leading the way with 14. Doherty also 14 and Hewitt 13. And look, you're spot on. It was a real mix those two quarters. The Suns jumped out of the blocks and then the Blues kicking 7 goals in that second term. Gee whiz, Charlie Curnow, what a privilege to see him on fire here. Just the sun on his back. He's been absolutely superb that second quarter. And really, going forward from here, you'd think it's all Blues. The momentum they've got, the crowd, the support they've got in the crowd is fantastic. And if the Suns don't find something in this third quarter, it's going to be all the Carlton Footy Club, and they may well secure themselves a home final. I guess their only sort of other risk at the moment is the Sydney Swans and potentially the Giants around that. But based on what we saw in that second quarter, the Blues are back to their best.
But they were outstanding, weren't they? There's been a lot of commentary this week about the most marketable sports person in Australia. I think there's no doubt that the most marketable AFL player has to be Charlie Curnow, doesn't it? Like, when he's up and about, he's that big presence inside 50. He's a good-looking rooster. He's just got that swagger about him, presence inside 50. He was outstanding. He turned that game on its head in that second quarter, just wrestled all the momentum back. And he was playing on a good defender as well. Ballard's a really, really strong defender, and he had to get shifted off him. They had to put two back on him at the end of that quarter. They had to play McAndrew in front of him and Sam Collins right behind him and started to niggle him. So that may be a shift, but that was much better from Carlton. It was great to see that ball movement, the way they went after it. Their pressure was outstanding in that second quarter. I really liked the shift that they made, though, with Curnow. I know I've banged on it about it a fair bit. He has to play closest to goal, get Mackay up the ground. He's a traditional centre-half forward. He's got his issues in front of goals, but he can present and make a contest. And they looked so much better when they were up and going than the Carlton Footy Club. But Gold Coast Suns, they can respond here. There's no doubting that. They've been in games of footy all this year. We've seen them challenged at different times in the Q Clash, and they found a way to get the better of the Brisbane Lions. They wouldn't go away last week against the Sydney Swans. So I expect them to bounce back here, and they know that they've got a new coach, only maybe a matter of 48 hours away from being announced. And as we were speaking about off air, a coach can make or break you if they see something in you. So they'll be wanting to put their best foot forward in this second half, individually and as a team.
They certainly will be. It was all the Blues, though, quite contrasting quarters, the first and second one, but the Blues are certainly up and about. If you just join us on Triple M Footy, it's 2 points the margin. Now 49 plays 47. Well, one of our favourite segments on Triple M is the Amy halftime segment called the Amy Clangers. Now, I'm not sure what to expect. I've just been asked to throw to this, so yeah, look out. A Mitre 10 gift card is the perfect gift this
What are you doing,
Day.
mate? That's not what you read. You read that bit.
What?
No one's ever done a clanger throwing to the clanger before.
Oh, no.
Seriously, champs.
Who covers clangers on and off the field? These idiots do. And so does Amy. Here's the halftime Amy clang.
Expected to be in a full commentary box, and yet the only man who's got here on time to do his job. He did it so often for both Brisbane Lions and Port Adelaide, the former captain of the Lions, Tom Rockcliffe. Rocky, good afternoon.
Yes, Flanners, thanks for having me. But it's quite staggering to be in here this afternoon and there's nobody here.
There's no sign of Richard Champion. There's no sign of Simon Black.
Well, you speak about Richard Champion first and foremost. There's no talent whatsoever in his body at all. He thinks he's got a lot, but he doesn't. He tries to go to a lot of different areas in his life, and he's not very good at any of them. So I think that's why he spreads himself the way he does. But you talk about Simon Black, an absolute champion of the game, but this is the one thing that he could always struggle with. He was always 1 minute early.
Was he?
Like, if the meeting was at 2 o'clock, he'd be there at 1:59.
Not to harp on it, we know Richard Champion's probably been held up doing his hair, but for Simon Black to not be here, 300 games plus, 3 premierships, Brownlow's, best and fairest All Australians, he's done it all, and yet here is the first real black mark on his record. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Blackie and I were speaking in the car. Blackie rang me on the way. He said, "Brother, where are you?" I said, "Mate, I'm struggling. I'm going to be late." He said, "So am I." And we said, "I bet you those flogs in the commentary box will be going hard at us."
Yep. You did, yeah, well, look, I've done a bit of research. I thought that was history. I thought that was the first time in the history of Triple M footy that we'd have a clanger in the prime time. I'm informed it's not. It has happened before 2 years ago. That's the first time there's been a clanger in the prime time in 2 years for Triple M footy. But it is history. For the first time ever, there has been a clanger throwing to the clanger. Seriously, Richard Champion. Like
the Amy clanger, and he starts reading out the Mitre 10
like, it's a fairly simple job at times, but geez, you make it look hard work. This is the half-time break for Mitre 10 trade. A Mitre 10 gift card is the perfect gift for his father's Choice Hotels around the ground. There's another game.
I've already said that bit.
Yeah, Choice Hotels around the ground. There is another game going on at the moment. The Tigers taking on North Melbourne. 16 points in favour of Richmond. A farewell game for Jack Rewalt and Trent Cotchin. We might get the thoughts of Simon Black and Tom Rockcliffe on those two greats after the break. Whatever your reason for travelling, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead and book it. Let's go to a break, but we've had a lot of chat about Charlie Curnow. I'm going to give you some trivia to think about over the break. He is on the cusp of winning consecutive Coleman medals. It's only been done by 2 players in the last 20 years. Have a think, boys, over the break. Come back with who you think those 2 players might have been. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade. A Mitre 10 gift card is the perfect gift this Father's Day.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly.
Shut up! The foot is on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Titanium Caravans. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Half-time at Heritage Bank Stadium. The Gold Coast Suns hosting Carlton. It is a 2-point lead to the home side at the main break. This quarter, thanks to Titanium Caravans. Want to go anywhere? You'll need Australia's toughest off-road caravan. Titanium Caravans are purpose-built to tackle Australia's uncompromising conditions. They have everything you need to stay off-grid and off-road. Look no further than a Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au. Liam Flanagan, Richard Champion, Tom Rockcliffe, Simon Black, Belinda Mellon. Gave you a bit of a trivia question before the break. Gentlemen, Charlie Curnow on the cusp of winning a second consecutive Coleman medal. Only 2 players have done it in the last 20 years. Did we figure out who they are?
It's Fraser Garrick.
Yes. Fraser back in 2004 and 5, I believe.
We threw around Lance Franklin and Brendan Favola as well, but they were wrong.
Yes. The last player, of course, the other player.
Champs, who was it?
Rocky, recent player.
You got it.
We'll let you have
You need a win, Champs.
Do I?
Yeah.
a little one.
Josh Kennedy.
You're correct. It
For
was Josh Kennedy
West Coast
for the
Eagles.
West Coast Eagles. So, Charlie, it shows how hard it is to actually win a Coleman. It would be the third successive Coleman for Carlton. Obviously, Harry Mackay winning it prior to Charlie. So, he's looking good with 4 goals to his name this afternoon.
Puts him out by 9. So I think he's almost wrapped it up. He just stopped.
We had a bit more insight for us than that. But
No. I don't do the Triple MC by
He's done a Nathan Brown. Just stopped talking. Quite staggering here in the Triple M box. I don't know what's going on. Belinda Mallum got anything down on the boundary for us, but I think he's almost wrapped up the Coleman medal, and he's 9 in front now. Tex Walker takes on the West Coast Eagles in round 24, so he's an opportunity to kick a big bag there, but he's got a big game tonight against the Sydney Swans, so I think Charlie Curnow can wrap it up in this second half, and if they can get the supply of ball that they did in that second quarter in this second half, it'll be interesting to see how they play him though, Blackie. We've seen late in that quarter Mac Andrews start to play in front of him, trying to get a 2-on-1 to limit his ability to hit the scoreboard, so it'll be interesting to see whether they try and play the one in front of him again or they swing back to a more normal 6-6-6 structure here and try and win the game of footy.
yeah, absolutely. They got so many good looks going forward, didn't they? Charlie just did his thing with his athleticism and just led up beautifully. So, yeah, that midfield battle, who can win that, get the dominance in that part of the ground to get the inside 50 count in their favour is going to be really important, just to see how the Suns respond from that real domination from that second quarter here. And beautiful afternoon, and the 2-point difference. We've got a good game on our hands.
We certainly have. So they certainly made a game of it, the Blues, in that second term. What have you spotted, Rocky?
The wind has swung around. The flag is now blowing to the other end of the ground.
That is a very good observation of yours. We'll get down to Belinda Mellon and see if what it's like at ground level, because the flag is above the goalpost at the moment, and it is flailing in the other direction. It's turned into a northerly. It's blowing towards the southern end. So that will, of course, favour the Blues once again for this third term. And let's go down to Belinda, actually, thanks to Bob Jane T-Mart's
Yeah,
feed.
I have to say that I'm really glad the flag's not blowing below the goalpost. It generally does like to sit above the goalpost. It has actually...
Okay, that's enough. Cut her off, boys. Cut her microphone.
Bob Jane T-Mart's a great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. Call her on the line today. T's apply.
Lucky we're only going into
Wow.
Ipswich and Casino and Lismore this
Pimpamar, yeah.
Shout out to everybody listening on the listener app as well.
South Tweed.
Oh, dear.
All right.
Poor old champs. Let's have a big second half.
Yeah, let's hope so. And because we've got a belter on our hands here, let's straighten up a bit, boys. It's only 2 points to diff. A lot on the line for Carlton, more so than obviously the Suns. I mean, they'd like to finish their season on a high.
It's unlikely that Melbourne lose the next 2 games, but they could potentially finish top 4, Carlton, if they get 2 wins.
It's very important, and percentage is going to play a huge role in these last 2 rounds.
Third term for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M rocks footy.
Play on.
Pitnet tried to get the quick kick out for the Blues. Affected. Hewitt, short, goes wide. Always comes out, dribbles the ball in front of him. Sexton there, outnumbered for the Suns, does well. Ball comes back to Akers. Akers sends it inside forward 50. First one of the quarter for Carlton. Ball spills out the back. Collins looks like he's going to go to Curnow. 4-goal second term for Charlie. Witt spears it out wide. Gold Coast have the outnumber, but Marchbank fought really hard for it. Lukosius was superb. Gave it back to Ainsworth. Kick down the line is a ripper. Swallow just couldn't quite compete. Got there in the end, but he's wrapped up by Wiedering. Sard was clean. Handball released to Marchbank.
And has he kept it in play? He has. Fisher, little handball over the top was good. So this is a good piece of play here. Motlop, the 1-2. Inside 50 now. Where's Charlie? Oh, they look for him, but chopping off was Big Mac Daddy. And he got in the way.
Yeah, it's going to be his role clearly the second half. Just try and get in front of that space of Charlie Cameron, just annoy his leading pattern. So he
done it again.
And Charlie played last night, Blackie, and he did all right.
Curnow.
We let the first one go in the second quarter, Black. We can't let this.
Curnow.
Quite often playing the 2s and then back up for the seniors in country footy, but not at this level.
This is where Carlton have got to be smart with their entries too. When McAndrew drops off, they've got to find his man. So to Coning's his direct matchup, they've got to look for him inside 50, get him to be accountable, and then Curnow will get those one-on-one looks again.
Pitnet and Witts went about it in the ruck duties. Umpire will do it all over again.
But just outside Carlton's forward 50, Witts put it into the lap of Matty Rao. Tries to walk through the tackle, gave it to Miller. He's faced with the same problem, so we'll have another ball up in the same spot. Shadows starting to lengthen across the ground here on the Gold Coast Heritage Bank Stadium. Perfect conditions for footy. Paddy Dow spun out of it. Akers around the body inside forward 50. Contest falls to DeConing out the back. Tom Rockcliffe after him to get involved. He gave it to Motlop. Jesse Motlop. Like father, like son, ripping goal. Carlton, for the first time this afternoon, have the lead. 53-49, Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Yeah, Motlop, he's been a revelation since he got that opportunity. Late call up against Port Adelaide. He took his opportunity that day and he's really grabbed it with both hands and almost cemented his spot in this team. His pressure's gone through the roof and now he's hitting the scoreboard as well. So that's perfect start for Carlton here. DeConing gets involved in that play. Now McAndrews has got to be aware of him. He can't allow just to drop off and sit in front of Curnow now. So that's the perfect start for the Carlton Footy Club in this third quarter. Collins is putting a lot of attention into Curnow, not letting him move to the areas that he wants. So that's a watch for sure in this third quarter.
He's just harassing him even when the ball's not even in the area. We've got eyes on them right now. The ball's back in the centre and he's putting a lot of body on him. From McDonald to Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Here goes the Blues again. Hewitt, done. So Took Miller puts it inside forward 50. And Wiedering, as he often does, outmarks his opposition.
Wasn't Took Miller's best kick, but just no decisive movement from Casbolt there. Just needed to move faster and hit a leading lane quicker than what he did.
Paddy Dow with the football. Leans back, sends it long. Mackay, big fly, Butterick wrapped up. Oh, big tackle from DeConing. Not sure if he got him high, just the size differential made it look perhaps a bit dangerous. Umpires awarded the free kick to Butterick. Long way for DeConing to bend down to tackle Conor Butterick. He goes short. McAndrew now. Lazily just pokes it inside forward 50. Sexton got two. Can he get a third? Handball backwards, Casbolt, hands and knees, stepping, impossible to bring down, big Levi. Holding the football, free kick Newman.
Well, he's asking the question, Levi, and probably got a fair argument. I mean, he was wrapped up very early on, and he tried to still just bullock his way through the tackle, but essentially he was actually wrapped up for 5 or 6 seconds, so I reckon he had a fair argument there. Wiedering. Goes short. Fisher now has it inside defensive 50. Will go back to Wiedering. He's got Sard on to his left and he thought about it.
Outside 5.
And now we'll go a little longer. He's got Newman down the track, but that's also ignored. So he goes to his star in Charlie Curnow. Punched away from him by Collins. They've got it again though. Inside forward 50. McAndrew was there. Kick towards goal. He's going to dribble across the front and push through for a rush behind. So pretty even contest on our hands at the moment. The Blues are in front though for the first time of the game. 54 plays 49 with their first goal of this third term. It was all the Gold Coast in the first quarter. Chol. He probably should have hung on to that. Fisher, he was after the little 1-2. Akers, little handball back inside to Fisher again. Back to Akers. The little kick is okay. So, the shot on goal will be taken by Owies.
That's your line.
He's tucked right in on the boundary. 40 out. 51 goals in his career.
Much better from Carlton, and they're starting to outnumber those contests where Gold Coast were outworking them in that first quarter. They're turning up in numbers now, Carlton, for each other.
So Matty Owies, 21 goals this season so far. It's punched through by McAndrew easily. So another behind to the Blues. 55 plays 49.
Andrew brings it in, finds Sexton. Sexton gives it to Atkins. Down the line, wanted Levi. Roses Jr. was a nice pickup, managed to get boot to ball, put it out in front of Miller. Sexton didn't run where Took wanted him to. Akers beat him to the football, sends it down the line. Boundary line should win out. Oh, it doesn't. It bounced on the end, bounced on the point, bounced back in favour of the Blues. Can they make the most of it? Atkins got back in the nick of time. Gave it to Budrick. Rao. Corridor is open. There's no sun present, though. Chance for Newman. Bounces back. Finds Chincotta. Doherty. They're linking up off half-back. Brody Kemp with the football. Just needs to find an option. Jack Martin. Back with the flight. Marks. Nack Andrew went to ground. Jack played on. The most casual banana you've ever seen. And he's put it across the face where Collins takes the mark for the Suns, and they'll look to escape on the outer side. Footy in the hands of Ainsworth. Lukosius. The kick just popped up a bit. Gave the Carlton defenders half a chance. That's all they needed right now. They are playing decent football. Inside forward 50. Mackay still can't get a shot at goal. Lukosius will take some time.
He does want to get on with the job, though.
What a kick.
Oh, that's a great kick. Spots up Levi. Too far out to score. What's he got ahead of him?
He's got space, but they're outnumbered.
Roses Jr. Blackie, who's made some legs. He's got 2-on-1. He's got to beat Wiedering, who's one of the biggest men out there, and easily punched away. Roses Jr. just gesturing to the umpire that, sir, he may have been holding on to me a little bit as I was trying to run towards the footy, having nothing to do with it.
He did what he could have done 5 or 6 seconds earlier, just wheel it in, get it in quicker and give your forwards a chance and allow the Carlton defence to get back and set.
Witz, he loves this situation. He tapped it down to Matty Rao, kept it in front, whips out the handball, but it was ill-directed. Hands and knees. Now the Suns, Roses Jr., he leaves it for Levi. Wiedering again, such a good defender. That's a dangerous kick. It's got to come off to Motlop, who picked it up at his shoelaces.
Comes wide, Jesse Motlop put it out in front of Martin McAndrew against him, and Andrew sees it over the boundary line. Throw in, 49, the Gold Coast Suns, 55 Carlton. One straight kick in it.
Just defensively, much more sound now. They're getting numbers behind the footy, supporting each other. The support offside of the ground, so their wingmen getting back to replace space inside the defensive 50. Exceptional. They're all in sync now as a team and moving as a unit defensively, Carlton.
Tom Rockcliffe, Triple M, Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Simon Black, Richard Champion, Liam Flanagan and Belinda Mellon. That is your call team for this Saturday afternoon game for McDonald's and Triple M. McDonald's and Remo Water, beg your pardon. Triple M Rocks footy inside forward 50. The Suns go again. Wiedering. His game is elevated since that first term, giving Levi Casbolt a real tough old afternoon. We're going to have a ball up, 25 out from the Suns' goal.
Clear the area.
9.5 played. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. 6 points the margin. Ball going nowhere in a hurry. Umpire will ball it up.
Perfect conditions for footy as well. 23 degrees, sun shining. The wind is not blowing at all now, Richard.
It's dropped off.
It's stopped completely.
Even above the goals or ground level. It's actually just lying very limp. You'd know all about that, Tom Rockcliffe, as the ball spills towards the boundary line for another throw-in.
I know Carlton are playing, but let's not start working blue, champs. Boundary throw-in inside the Suns forward 50.
Arms straight at the front.
Been a while since a goal for the home side. Jack Lukosius opened the second term with one, and it's been all Carlton since. 7 straight goals to the visitors. That's why they have a 6-point lead on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au as Pitnet and Witz get familiar with one number. Ball on the deck.
One a number. Tell you what, it's hard being perfect up here today.
Isn't it?
Hard.
I'm
the only one that knows what it feels like.
For now.
We're just biding our time.
Rao wrapped up in a really strong tackle.
Really good. The pressure around this contest, though, from the Carlton Footy Club. No space whatsoever for Gold Coast Suns players.
That was by Georgie Hewitt, who goes in again. Sarge there as well, wrapped up. So Gold Coast know they need to hang on here because they can sense the Blues have got their mojo back. They know Melba's isn't a thing anymore.
Play 15, play on!
Quick kick, hasn't quite cleared the defence.
Play on.
And here's a chance. Ainsworth, shot on goal, is a ripper. Well, that's come out of nowhere. That's his second. That's a real bonus, really. It was a loose ball, and he just banged it on the boot. Had no time at all to just get a sense of where he was, and he's just belted on the ball, on the boot, and slotted it through.
Sure did, champs. The Gold Coast Suns hadn't scored a goal since the 5th minute mark of the second quarter up until now, so a much needed goal by them. And Noah Ainsworth's been a player that has really elevated his game this year. The growth in the Suns as a team, large part from Noah Ainsworth. He's been terrific. A few other players in that area, no doubt about it. But we see here on the Harvey Norman replay, just a ball spilled out to him. He just had a split second to be able to make a decision. Just took 2 quick steps, went bang from 40 metres, and that's a real big settler for the Gold Coast Suns to even the scores up.
Simon Black, Triple M Seabar Super Special comments. Ball back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. This week you can score 20% off your entire order when you spend $10 only on the My Macca's app. Carlton looking to answer back. Jack Martin got rid of Andrew, took the footy, snap, bending. Just didn't get there in time, even though Carlton fans think it has. Minus score, and that is the margin. 56-55 in favour of the Blues. Choice Hotels around the ground. The other game, 3/4 time at the G. Richmond 76 with a 9-point lead over North Melbourne. Nick Larkey has 6 goals to 3/4 time.
Wow. He's had a couple of good bags this season, hasn't he? Late. Wiedering kicked out of bounds on the full. He just tried to hack it forward. Oh, it was touch, Rocky. Okay, so luckily for him.
How casual is Martin inside 50? A couple of times he just snapped it around the corner so casually. He hit that one pretty flush. Unfortunately, he just didn't bend enough before the post, but he is so casual inside 50.
Some laconic blokes out there. The coach,
Yep.
Marbio Chol.
Marbio, yep. So the throw-in to Koning in front. Tapped it down only as far as Ainsworth, who was tackled as he kicked it. Ball spills over here. Doherty's in pursuit. Did really well. Got a handball away. In fact, it was Kemp. Fisher. They wanted throwing. The umpire said, no, I'll throw it in.
Much of this, as they've dominated this contest, the Carlton Footy Club, they haven't put the Gold Coast Suns away yet, so they need to get a bit more scoreboard pressure here in this third quarter. Start to win around the contest. Gold Coast Suns starting to get their hands on it again around the stoppages.
Yeah, fair point. 14 played. There's Marbior. You speak of one of the laconic players out there. Fiorini got it to Miller.
Clever.
Now Flanders. He's just very good, Jacob Wiedering, isn't he? Just taking another good defensive mark there against Levi Casbolt.
Triple M Red Z lending stats, Blackie. Patrick Cripps' numbers. I'd be interested to find out how the Carlton skipper has gone. He was probably a 3-vote effort last week in the win over Melbourne, yet I don't feel like he's been up to his Brownlow winning best today.
No, just had the 10 touches to this point. Paddy Cripps had 3 clearances to go with it, but yeah, he's a bit under where he normally would be at this stage of the game.
Red Z Lending Loans for the Self-Employed, REDZED.com, and he's at this stoppage. Go head-to-head with Flanders, who has had all the football this afternoon. Sam Flanders is about to get another touch. The handball didn't quite get to him. Fiorini, the handball was a bullet. Miller, now he gets it to Flanders. Goes back to Fiorini, going to be forced to dump kick down the line. Somehow, the B-Bear, Bailey Humphrey, he got out on his own. All the time in the world, and he dropped the mark, and we're going to have a ball up on the 50-metre arc for the Suns. 8-7-55, they trail by a single point. 8-8-56, Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Chol and de Koning taps it down to that man in question. Paddy Cripps couldn't quite get the handle on the footy.
Just doesn't look himself, does he? He spent 15 minutes down in the rooms in that first quarter, and he's a bit fumbly at that contest.
It'd be interesting to see what the issue was, because it didn't look physically an issue, but maybe it is. Ball spills out the back. Wiedering's going to dive on this and end up with it eventually. Akers, little handball over the top towards Fisher, but it's too hot for him.
We know that he had the ribs last week in that win against Melbourne. He was quite sore after the game, so he may be still carrying that. You can play. You do occasionally need a little bit of medical attention to take the feeling away from that area, so he might have got one early on in this contest and gone downstairs to get that adjusted.
Boundary throw in, Suns forward 50. De Koning took it out of the ruck. De Koning took it out of the ruck. Quick hands, Hewitt clearing kick. Going to land in a pack of players. Butterick, McAndrew, dangerous spot, good mark. Taken by Chincotta. with Patrick Cripps, the style of football he plays when he gets to this point of the season, he's going to be beat up. Surely he'll be sore. Would Vossi be thinking about trying to freshen him up at all, Blackie?
Well, you got the bye before the finals, and that's invaluable for a player like Paddy Cripps, and I guess for the Carlton side, who've had a heavy and emotional big couple of months of all the success they've had. So I think the bye is going to really suit the Blues.
Marchbank down the line. Collins comes out and meets it. Motlop's wrapped up. Clever little hands. Jack got it off to Took Miller. It's going back to Lukosius. And now Butterick. He's got Ellis out wide. He needs it. The pressure come from Akers, though, and he's going to win out. He's got to get rid of it, though. Hands is okay. Over the top, Cottrell was clever. Now he's got Owies. Collins did really well. Ballard, he's going to run onto it again. Which way will it bounce? It's going to favour the Blues. Kick towards goal. Charlie, no. Right on the line. It was probably across the point line before he had an opportunity to mark it. It's pretty evenly poised at the moment, this game, and as Rocky mentioned before, they haven't actually got it in the bag yet. So it's open.
8.5 minutes to play. Atkins brings it back in for the Suns, goes short to the pocket, finds Andrew. Mac Andrew kicks it to an interesting contest. Matty Rao was always undersized against Marchbank.
Kicked it to a 4-on-1. Incredible.
Marchbank back inside forward 50. Mac Andrew trying to repay. Big fly. Almost a bit of tunnelling going on there. Jack Martin spinning, wheeling, dealing, sends it back to Doherty. The Doc to a dangerous spot for the Blues. Where's Charlie? Got up, got down. Couldn't bring it down with him. He's got 4. Kicked them all in the second term as Motlop snaps out of the pack. Minor score. Carlton extend their lead to 3 points. 8-10-58. Gold Coast 8-7-55. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
You often get a little bit of a theme throughout a round, don't you? We had a couple of tunnelling incidents last night. We'll kick off this round. A couple of players come up a little bit sore. Murphy in particular, it's a worrying one for Collingwood. The ball goes forward. Curnow, is he going to get it? No. Ballard, almost gave it to Curnow, who had a slap-on goal and threw for a behind. So they're peppering. They're certainly playing the better footy at the moment, but they're just not putting it on the scoreboard.
They just don't have that flow at the moment with their ball movement, but if they continue to get these entries, the damn wall will break at some point for the Gold Coast Suns. And Carlton, their threats inside 50. If they can get some ball movement, get some one-on-ones, Curnow leading up, that's the key to them getting ahead on the scoreboard in this game.
4 points is the margin. Speaking of which, Rocky, on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
7 minutes left to play in this third term as Jared Witts looks like he's caught one south of the border. Very ginger getting up is big Jared. Marby Orchol called to play on, went on the non-preferred right. We can see why it's non-preferred. Up and down, straight in the lap of Paddy Dow. Dow goes in the Curnow direction, why wouldn't you? Collins did really well to take front spot, refused to give it up. Mac Andrew got the legs of Charlie Curnow. The handball from Ainsworth turned it over. Here come Carlton, Paddy Cripps, the skipper. Harry Mackay. Well, he juggled the mark. He completed it at 40 out, 45-degree angle. He can't kick around the body from here. It's the wrong side for him.
That's a kick for the big fella coming back into the side. Hasn't had a lot of the ball this afternoon so far. This is a big moment for the big fella.
Triple M Red Z lending stats. What are his numbers, Blackie?
He's had the 6 touches so far, had the 3 kicks, 3 handballs.
This might be an all-in team celebration if he can nail it, and he can't. Well, he's back in the side. They want him there, but those accuracy in front of goal problems, they linger for Harry Mackay. Margin out to 5 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
He's just falling off his kicks, isn't he? Like, he was unbalanced when that hit his boot there. So he needs a lot of work, and his self-confidence is down. And that kick not so good by the Suns coming out. Fisher's going to mop it up here. They've got plenty of options. Newman through the centre of the ground. Now Doherty turns and goes. Well done, McKay. He
had his head taken off.
Provided a good contest, kept it in front of him, went at the second effort. Could have been high, says Tom Rockcliffe. Umpire says no, and the crowd boo.
waiting for the Harvey Norman replay there, and here it is now. Mackay wins a footy at ground level. Oh no, it's his teammate.
His teammate. A little bit of friendly fire there, Rocky.
Anderson kicked it out of the pack. Akers took on the tackle, had to get rid of it, gave it to Chol. Chol, the handball made life really difficult for Flanders. Somehow managed to halve the contest and keep it alive for his team. Newman, quick hands, Ainsworth now. Rao, Suns are out here through Flanders, who has been absolutely everywhere this afternoon. Fine Swallow, centre wing, near side of Heritage Bank Stadium. We've got 4 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in this term as Flanders gets another one. What's he up to, Blake?
This is his 28th touch. Flanders leading all comers on the field.
We might have to start looking into career best for Sam Flanders. He's been everywhere. Triple M Red Z lending stats.
Genius putting him through the middle of the ground, isn't it, by Stephen King?
Yep.
A few weeks ago, he's been superb.
He had a lot last week against Sydney too, Blackie. So putting a real good month of footy together. Levi, well, he's a bit ginger after that contest. It went beyond him. And now Dow down the line. Mackay come out and met it. Couldn't complete the mark. Ballard, just a little don't argue is handy. This could fall in Roses Jr.'s lap, but no, Sard gets back and takes a good defensive mark. Gets on with the job. Finds Doherty in the centre of the ground. He gives it off. Chinkota. And now out wide, Hollands has got Motlop in pursuit. Kick is okay towards De Koning. A little slow to react to that one as it hits the ground. Crowd want holding the ball, pushing the back, I should say. They're not getting either.
So it's really a moment of this game, Chance. Both sides just really disconnected through the middle of the ground. They're getting their looks going forward, but just no one can execute and find their teammate upfield. So it's becoming a really ugly little patch in the game. Who can take their chances with 3 minutes 40 to go? 5 points up for Carlton. Both teams getting their looks, but no one can execute.
All right, 5 points to diff. It favours the Blues. From the stoppage now, Miller takes it, needs support.
You hear the cries of holding the football. That's from the Carlton dominant crowd that's turned out this afternoon. They know what a win means for their side. And right now they're a quarter away.
Sam Flanders' highest stats in the game is 33 touches against St Kilda in the season.
Okay.
So
what's he at the moment?
He's on track. He's had 28.
Triple M Red Z Lending Stats, Red Z Lending Loans for the self-employed, REDZED.com. They're on Sam Flanders' watch. Jacob Wiedering might get his marks for the game at the moment. I feel like he's, since that first term, been everywhere as he hands off to Fisher. Pearson kick inside forward 50. Harry's got space. Didn't take the mark, bounced to his feet, gave it to Holland. Snap around the body is smothered. Roses Jr. Oh, he spun into that tackle. Needs to get rid of it. Does just in the nick of time. Lemons is wrapped up by 5 Carlton opponents. We'll have a ball up.
Good heat on the ball, isn't there? Good pressure from both sides. Great contest we've got here.
So Pitnet and Witts taps that down. Here's Rao. Little contested possession as he often gets. Quick kick forward has landed in the hands of Jack Lukosius. Centre of the ground. What's he got ahead of him? He's got Marbior. He's in good position here. Sard did really well. Still onto it. Marbior needs to pick it up and give it off. Oh, he goes. We missed one target. Roses Jr.'s there to help out. It's going to end up with Marbior again. He didn't want it. He said, don't bloody give it to me. And Marbior spent. Hands on hips. It's going to come out to Lukosius again there, and they'll have time to reset.
He'll kick it from here. He thinks about it. Eventually, he went to a 5-on-1, the one being David Swallow. And Adam Sard takes the easiest of marks.
It's never going to work, Flanders, was it?
What's going on with Marbior?
Yeah, he doesn't know. He's got a bit of cramp, I reckon.
Tell you what,
around out there.
Marbior might be lucky that Damien Hardwick's watching Jack Rewalt and Trent Cotchin play their last game at the MCG. I don't think he'd want to see that.
See Harry Mackay, you spoke about it before, Champs. He's certainly down on confidence, and you spoke about the self-confidence. Maybe you could spend a bit of time with him to get that self-confidence. You've got plenty of it.
Not after this call, I haven't.
Has there ever been a confidence coach in the AFL, Champs? There's a whole niche there.
Absolutely. What a niche that would be. I will work on that as the ball comes forward.
You and the Wiz could be.
Wiz Capper and Richard
Champion. I could team up. We would be world beaters.
He actually looks similar.
Oh, yeah, good.
A lot of Botox.
Yep, yeah. You're an idiot. Anderson, long inside. Jack's going to fly. Couldn't quite pull it down. Here's Miller, though. Swooped on it. Just needs to collect it and does. Good second efforts. Lukosius Goes back to Fiorini. Needs help. Gets it back to Jack. And the kick is brilliant. And picks out his former skipper in Swallow, who will have a shot on goal. He's already kicked a couple.
What a star. What a star. He was in the phone box, really. Carlton players coming at him hard. He just looked, lowered his eyes there across the ground. Not most players in that instance would go top of the goal square, but not Jack Lukosius. He looked inside. Good 25, 30-metre kick. Beautiful, beautiful display of skill.
Much like yourself, Blackie, often looks like he's got more time than what he has. Can't say the same for Tom Rockcliffe as he comes in. Swallow. Got it. 3 goals for Dave. And the Suns are chipping away.
And back in front.
They're back in front. And, I mean, that was a better piece of play. They haven't been playing that well to actually be scoring goals back-to-back, but they are certainly in this game. Balls and all. 9-7-61 to 8-12-60. 27 played. Are my eyes correct? Yes, 27.5 played on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
It's been really good to see David Swallow go forward and have an impact. He might have been a player, he's around that 38 years of age now. That might have been a bit of strife contract-wise if he wasn't able to impact forward like he has been. So got the 3 goals today. He's been a bit of heart and soul of this Gold Coast Suns team for a long time. So fantastic to see him doing really well up front.
Yeah, you saw that on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Save up to 25% on Acer computers. Acer Aspire 3 now $388. Save $110 for limited time at Harvey Norman. Final few seconds of this third term for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M Rocks footy. Suns, if they're good enough, here he comes. Swallow just kicked a goal, needs to wheel and go. There's time on the clock. The runner is Ainsworth. The clock is what matters now. Loops out wide. Kick going to come in from Anderson. If they can take a mark, they can get a late one. No mark taken. Fist comes down. Rao can't get to the footy. Tackle laid. Siren will sound. And boy, oh boy, do we have one hell of a final term on the way. 61 plays 60. The Gold Coast Suns hold a 1-point lead. They hold the fate of Carlton's finals hopes in their hands. What will Michael Voss have to say to his charges at the 3/4 time break? We'll find out next. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M, Rocks Footy.
That quarter for Titanium Caravans. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
For McDonald's,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
This week, score 20% off your entire order when you spend $10. Only on the My Maccas app.
you're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly.
Shut up! The foot is on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
Well, Choice Hotels around the ground. We'll give you the update from the MCG where the Tigers are about to send Jack Rewalt and Trent Cotchin out as winners. They hold a 26-point lead over North Melbourne with a touch over 6.5 minutes left to play in that one. Damien Hardwick, the future coach of the Gold Coast Suns, on hand as well for that game. Jack Zeeble also ending his career this afternoon. He doesn't look like he's going to end it with a win. But here at Heritage Bank Stadium, at three-quarter time, it is the Gold Coast Suns with a 1-point lead over Carlton, 61-60. Liam Flanagan, Richard Champion, Simon Black, Tom Rockcliffe. Huge final term coming up.
Yeah, it certainly is. There's no doubting that. The first half was open, free-flowing footy. I think that we had 7 goals in the first quarter combined, 8 goals in the second quarter, and then in the third quarter just tightened right up. Only 3 goals for the entire quarter. Gold Coast Suns kicked 2 of them. It just became a bit of an arm wrestle, and it needs to open up for Carlton to get back in and get playing the style that they want to play. Curnow was held really well by Collins, but the ball movement certainly didn't help him in the front half. But Carlton just almost shut up shop a little bit and let the Gold Coast Suns dictate that it became a bit of an arm wrestle. They need to open the ground up and start to get some open field play.
The one that Red Z lent his stats, the third quarter contested possession plus 14, the Blues, but they just didn't get any scoreboard pressure on it. In fact, they lost the quarter by a few points in the end. Yeah, as you said. So, yeah, they really need to go forward. The match-up for Charlie Curnow, he needs to find something. That second quarter form he was in, he needs to get amongst it early in this last quarter, champs.
Bob Jane Teamart's Belinda Mellon. Looks like a sub might have been made.
Yeah, it certainly has. The sub is yet to put the vest on, so it's a bit of a mystery as who's been subbed out. But Ed Curnow is on the field. The Gold Coast keeping their sub safe, though. McPherson's still waiting fresh on the bench.
All right, thanks, B. Thanks, Bob Jane Teamarts from McDonald's Areem Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy last quarter underway. The Suns have led every term, at every change. So only 2 at halftime and only a behind right now. Akers gets in the way. Little kick around the corner defensively. Heads up towards Owies. Punched away from him over the boundary line.
They had their opportunities in that quarter, didn't they, Carlton, in the third quarter? They kicked the 1 goal 7 to 2 straight from the Gold Coast Suns. So if they get that amount of entries and looks at goal in this last quarter, they should be able to blow the Gold Coast Suns away. But to the Gold Coast Suns' credit, they're hanging around this contest.
Ed Curnow, the fresh legs out there for Carlton. He's the sub, as Belinda Mellon just told us. Bob Jane Teamarts. They've got great buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply.
Staggering how you can sub someone on and not have the sub off. There's still nothing come up on our screens up here in the commentary
Well, the
box.
players on the bench are Fisher, Mackay, Cottrell and Cunningham. So it's one of them. We'll find out who soon.
Harry Mackay as well.
So Doherty, little kick up and under Akers. Looks like Sexton's given away a free kick.
Stand.
Dishes off. Newman. Oh, it's another free kick.
Silly.
After, so it'll be down the field. Motlock will take this.
Your boy Sexton. Champs. Late hit.
Got off to a good start, did Alex.
Stand.
And now the Blues. Through Georgie Hewitt. De Koning took front position. Curnow. He couldn't quite gather it.
Confirmation of the sub for Carlton. Cunningham is out of the game. Curnow in.
Okay. So that's Ed.
Really good from Sam Collins on Charlie Curnow at the moment, making him lead to positions he doesn't want to be, where before he just sat in the goal square, just said, put it here and I'll get on the end of it. So Collins doing an outstanding job.
Which taps it down. Anderson gets a little kick, a little handball to Sexton, who kicked it down the line. Lukosius in pursuit. Dow gave the little 1-2 back to Kemp. It's chopped off though. Opportunity here for the Suns. Roses Jr. to Swallow. Here's Toot Miller. The skipper got it. Gee, an important start of this final term for the Suns. They now lead it by 7, 10-7-67 to 8-12-60. 2.5 played final term. That's on your Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, Bailey Humphries just got a hand in there, just intercept the handball through middle of the ground from Carlton and knocked it down. And we see here on the Triple M Harbour replay, the Gold Coast Suns tied it up beautifully, and that just allowed Took Miller just to waltz inside forward 50 with all the time and space in the world. And just good pressure from the Suns. Exactly what they needed to start this fourth quarter. Good pressure on the around the ball. Nice start for the Suns.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install a Ream. 67-60 in favour of the home side. Massive moment for Carlton. 8 wins on the bounce. A win here, and they guarantee themselves finals for the first time in a decade. Long-suffering Carlton supporters have turned out in numbers. What does their team have to offer in this final term as Hewitt sends them inside forward 50? Back Andrew.
Done it again.
They are double teaming Charlie Curnow after that 4-goal second term, and he's been nullified in large part.
Well, Mac Andrew is just, hasn't he grown in confidence? He's just backing himself with every contest.
He certainly has, but they've got to start to open that forward line up. There was it was a 3-on-3, so easy for them to come across and sit in front of Charlie Curnow. They need to open the field up inside 50 and give him a genuine one-on-one contest against Collins.
Here's Flanders, another handball. We'll keep an eye on his numbers because he's going to be approaching 40. So, Humphrey, kick out wide is okay. Again, they're just taking their time now. Ainsworth, he's pointing at goal. Has he got the journey, Blackie?
Yeah, he's a long kick. He'll kick from about 53 metres, and I'll back him in for the journey here.
All right. He'll have to kick from 53, as you mentioned. Breeze is probably just favouring him, but it's really hard to tell. It's dropped away. He's gone to the chip at the top of the square at the end of the day.
Come on.
And it's a mark taken by Swallow. He's taking some marks in the forward line that are quite unusual. We don't often see him bobbing up there at the top of the square, Blackie.
Putting himself in really good positions, giving himself a good look at it, and he's got a nice set of hands on him, and he's had a really big impact in this game this afternoon.
So he's already kicked 3, hasn't he? This for number 4 for the former skipper, Dave Swallow. What a game he's having. He leads from example, whether he's got the C next to his name or not. It's what he does. He just gives everything every week. We love him up here in the Triple M commentary box. And so do the Suns fans, who have really got behind him now. 11-7-73, 8-12-60 the Blues. 5.5 into this final term, Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, he's been outstanding, hasn't he? He's had the 7 shots on goal today, 4 goals, 3. It's on the Harvey Norman replay. The Carlton defenders just switched off. He ended up taking an uncontested mark, and to be fair, they could have raffled it. There was 3 or 4 of them that could have taken that uncontested mark inside 50, 10 metres out directly in front. They just went to sleep. Carlton didn't have the body presence or pressure on that, and he just pulled his kick beautifully, Ainsworth, there inside 50.
What do Carlton have to offer? 13 points in arrears. They fought so hard to get back into this contest after being blown out in the first term. And here they are, a chance to guarantee finals as Dow sends them inside forward 50. Ballard flew over the top of Mackay. Couldn't bring it down. McPherson into the game. We'll get down to B in a moment. It looks like the sub. Flying kick out of the pack. It's the Doc. Sam Doherty.
Motlop.
No, it's Motlop.
It was Motlop. Doherty got him the hands, though. I'm celebrating the goal assist. Motlop gets his second, and the Blues fight back. Margin now 7 points, Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Belinda Mellon, Bob J. T-Marts, the sub has been made for the Suns.
Yeah, so Darcy McPherson's on the ground, you're right, and the boy from Borroloola, the debutant Lloyd Johnson, sits at the back of the box.
All right, that's been made. Bob J. T-Marts, they've got great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. Call or order online today, T's and C's apply.
Yeah, you're right about Doc. Flanners superb, just shook off the would-be tackler in McPherson, which allowed him to then give the hands off to Motlop. So great strength there. We see on the Triple M Harvard on replay from Sam Doherty. Really executed the goal on the back of that piece of play.
Just picked his pocket, didn't he, Blackie, during the tackle. From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. The Blues hit back. And Cripper is out there. I mentioned he just hasn't had the influence in this game that he normally possesses. That man is, though, Swallow. Again up forward looking for Jack Lukosius. Goes over the top of his head. Marbiel Troll waits for it. Quick clearing kick that it's not outside defensive 50 yet. Pitnet in front position, couldn't take the mark. Ball spills out now. The Blues clear. Out to the wing position. They're just playing really good, solid fully. Ballard is happy to see it over the boundary line for a throw-in.
And Mackay, they just went for the chest mark instead of the hands out in front. Allowed Charlie Ballard to come in and fist the ball over the boundary line. Just the little things that make a difference.
Choice Hotels around the ground full time at the MCG. Richmond prevailing 101-72. 29-point win there for the Tigers. Final game in the careers of 3 storied players, Rewalt, Cochin and Zeeble. Here, the Blues are hoping to extend their story into September this year. They trail by 7 points, and the ball is deep in their defensive 50.
And can I ask our Triple M Cbus Super Special Comments boys to just check out the ramifications and what the teams have got forward of them. If the Blues lose this afternoon, what will probably transpire in that second half of the 8?
The ladder predictor, we might get that ready. Inside forward 50, the Blues go. It's cut off by Sean Lemons.
Focus on the footy, champs.
Called to play on. Cottrell gives pursuit. Going to have to kick it to a contest. The kick is elite. Picked out Ainsworth. Couldn't have gone anywhere else. There were Carlton players sweating on it. And Ben Ainsworth has the footy right half back. Still a heap of time left on the clock as he goes short to Miller.
Short to Roses Jr. Because I'm sure the Blues would have already, and Blue supporters, I'm talking more so, would have chalked down this win and be licking their lips as we approach finals. But if they don't, they still might have some work to do as Witts from the stoppage gets it forward. Lukosius wants to try to keep it in play, but the ball bounces illy for him and goes over the boundary line 30 metres around from their goal.
It's dependent on other games, but not too much will change for Carlton. If they lose this game and win next week, they still should finish 5th on the ladder.
They take on the Giants next week, though, who take on Essendon later today.
Okay.
So St Kilda 2 points behind them on the ladder. Play Brisbane at home next weekend, so that's a tough assignment for the Saints. Clearly.
Quick kick out of defence by the Blues. He's out of bounds on the full. McPherson, who's just come onto the ground, will take the free kick.
But how good is it that we get to this point of the season and we've still got all this to play for?
It's been an exciting end of the season as I can remember, Flanners. It's been fantastic. The top 4 part of the 8, the bottom 4, the bottom 3 or 4 teams outside the 8, superb.
The minor premiership is still alive. Marbior thinks he's playing for the minor premiership. He's come out and taken a huge mark, 20 metres out, not much angle. A chance for the Suns to go back into double figures of a lead.
Really poor again from Carlton's defenders. They just pulled that kick, McPherson, I think it was, inside 50. And it ends up taking an uncontested mark inside 50. They've been really poor, the Carlton defenders, particularly in this last quarter. That's twice they've gone inside 50 when they should be set up. And the Gold Coast Suns have taken uncontested marks through Swallow and Charles.
Marbior doesn't have a goal to his name this afternoon. Listen to the boos from the Carlton supporters. Marbior soaks it up. And the Suns lead is back out to 13. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
This is often what happens. If you let a younger team hang around for long enough, they get a bit of confidence, a bit of momentum, and they can smell a win here, the Gold Coast Suns. And as we said going into the game, they may be able to upset Carlton just a little bit, make them sweat a little bit more. We know Carlton's history, what happened to them last year when they went loss, 2 heartbreaking losses to miss finals. Surely not again.
Well, time will tell. It's not a winning lead just yet, but it's it's on its way.
It's just defensively, they just haven't been up to the level they've been all season, or the last 2 months at least. They've conceded 13 marks inside 50 this afternoon. They've conceded on average 70 points per game. They're up to 79, the Suns now. So the Blues defensively just haven't been at the level they've been the last 2 months.
From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. And you're back at the restart. There's Ed Curnow in the centre. And a little handball away. They're just trying to work something forward here through Fisher. And that kick is ill-directed. They'll need to put the skates on here. Motlop's in pursuit. Unable to track down Atkins, who gets around him cleverly. Just gets a boot on ball. Made 20 or 30 metres, and it's just enough for Fiorini to get a little handball away. There's Curnow again in Ed. And now it's in the hands of Motlop.
Oh, class.
Beautiful kick. Finds Jack Martin.
That's how you create space in your forward line. Get one coming at the kicker and a couple going back to goal. That will allow the space for the leading player, Jack Martin, there. Well orchestrated from Charlie Curnow and the other forwards up there for Carlton.
So 45 metres out for Jack, former son.
Needs to kick this one. He had a couple of opportunities in that third quarter, didn't take them.
So this to get back within a couple of goals. Right on the 50 mark. Jack's happy, hands in the air. That's his second. So the Blues are back. They're within a couple of kicks. That has been the scoring end, although the wind seems to have all but died away. So even in that respect, 12-7-79 the Suns. 7 points behind the Blues on 10-12. We've played 13.5 of this final term on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
Massive centre bounce coming up here. DeConing taking on Casbolt in the centre square bounce. So the Carlton Footy Club would see an opportunity here to win a centre clearance, get it deep inside 50, let their tall timber again have an opportunity at goal. I like that Charlie Curnow's gone back to the goal square. He said, I'm the man inside 50. Let me go back there. Let me be the deepest. Here we go.
Ball in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Tom Rockcliffe previewed it. DeConing was superb. Rose up highest. Tapped it down. Paddy Dow with the clearance. Motlop needs to be brave. Lemons really was. Sean Lemons, what a moment.
Well, he left his man, Flanners, and it really shouldn't have been his. The other two should have got there quicker. He took a risk.
Kept his head low. Won the free kick. Now he sends it deep, but that kick gives Carlton a sniff.
Key forward's too far away. Got to know the kicking distance of their teammates. Too far upfield was Marbio Chol. Couldn't compete in the contest in the air.
Simon Black, Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Nick Newman drove it down the line. Suns with numbers now. Flanders tackled as he got the handball away. Motlop went the cute, clever kick. Charlie Curnow, handball corridor. Back Andrew. Go Gadget Arms. Intercept at the very last moment. A crucial one for the Suns. Ball up on the 50-yard for Carlton.
He's going to turn into some sort of player, I reckon, Mac Andrew. I mean, early doors he was a bit fumbly. He quite often turned the ball over, but he's really, really grown as a player, and that's in the space of 10 weeks. The kick's been chopped off by Kemp for the Blues, so they'll go back inside forward 50 again. He winds up. Charlie's well-minded by Collins, so he couldn't get a chance to fly at it. Motlop wrapped up and will force a ball up, 30 out from the Blues goal line.
Motlop's been the spark for the Carlton Footy Club, hasn't he? His pressure inside 50, but also his ball use and the way he hits the scoreboard, he's been outstanding.
That's a terrible throw.
10 minutes to play. The worst throw I think we've seen all season. It gave the Suns about a 15-metre advantage. Umpire didn't bring it back. Ainsworth kicking around the body. Levi needs to be strong. He was. The vice closed. He held on as Kemp came late. Right half back, Levi.
A bizarre throw-up, wasn't it?
Very strange.
Well, it's almost embarrassing if you recall a throw-up, isn't it?
Never seen it.
Very strange. Anderson has it. Triple M Reds headlining stats. Noah Anderson, like he's been having an absolute tear of a season.
Yeah, he's had the 9-8 touches, 7 handballs 7 kicks, 12 handballs today.
He's been quiet by his lofty standards. Triple M Red Z Lending Stats, Red Z Lending Loans for the self-employed, redzed.com.
It's be the player that's improved the most this season. Him, Lukosius, Ainsworth I mentioned earlier, but Anderson's been an absolute star for the Suns, hasn't he?
The Koning tried to get it down towards Paddy Dow.
I reckon he'd be leading the BNF count.
I was going to ask you boys, I mean, we often talk about Miller, but obviously he's missed too many games this season to feature. Lukosius has been very good, of course.
Ruckman, Witts has been
And
outstanding.
number 5 for the day.
Yep.
That is a handful for Charlie. And nonchalantly just ambled around while everyone was sleeping and waiting to see what he was going to do and slotted it. He is one of the best.
Wasn't even looking at the goals when he kicked it, was he?
They're back to within a point, Blackie. 12-7-79 the Suns. The Blues, they're coming. 11-12-78. 18 played final term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Again, it was Motlop who picked the footy up and delivered the footy inside 50 to Curnow, but Collins made the decision to go forward to the contest, tried to win it, turned it over by hands. Motlop, goal assist to Curnow, who was by himself inside 50, but should have got a 50-metre penalty. There's no doubting that. Ballard just went the double elbows straight in the back, if you don't mind.
For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M rocks footy.
Hold in Gold Coast.
Free kick out of the middle to the Suns. Miller gets for a release off half-back from Butterick. Inside forward 50. Caught behind in the contest was Lukosius. Did well to halve it. Clearing kick from Akers. Motlop been absolutely everywhere. He's got to step up here though. Witts, Lemons dances, has a relief on the outer side. Ellis, Butterick comes from behind once more. Nothing coming towards him inside forward 50. Goes long. Chol, Casbolt, Doherty, tackled by Levi. Ball spills out in the tackle. Roses Jr. goes to work. Bailey Humphrey there as well. Hands and knees. The B-Bear keeps on keeping on. Tackled. Newman, ball up inside the Suns forward 50.
Some of these tackles in terms of players hitting their head on the ground, I mean, I don't know how they're adjudicated because so often it happens. And
well, this game's lifted and the crowd's lifted with it. Lukosius takes it, shot on goal. Marbiel's looking the wrong way. And good defensive play there by Kemp to knock it through for a rush behind.
Well, it's critical of the Carlton defenders before, but their last 5 minutes have been outstanding, playing front shoulder to the Gold Coast Suns, taking away their leads and intercepting the footy. So they've changed most 5 minutes the way they're playing the Gold Coast forwards at the moment, the Carlton defenders.
Fisher out towards the Koning. McAndrew punches it away. Quick kick forward there by Newman. Who's on the end of it? Charlie Curnow. Look at the kick to Harry Mackay. Hey, Harry, kick the bloody thing. He does. I thought he was going to get run down. He didn't know, he had zero awareness. It was like an 85-year-old walking down the sidewalk when you're trying to get by him. They don't know they're there. And he's kicked the goal. The Blues are back in front. 12-12-84 to 12-8-80. 20 played final term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
How was Charlie Curnow's delivery inside 50?
Incredible.
He took the one-on-one mark on Collins. He had good position, played on quickly. Mackay, he was 65 metres away and did not break stride into that footy and ran into an open goal. Outstanding play again, and the big fella, Charlie Curnow, he could be the difference in the game today.
It might not be your day, but it could be your moment. Harry Mackay back into the side. A month out, knee surgery. Back much earlier than expected, and he's owned the goal of the afternoon, has put the Blues in front. The Suns aren't done with though. Anderson takes it away from the restart. Inside forward 50. Levi not paid.
What?
Not paid. Quick kick out of the pack has been marked.
Sexton.
Alex Sexton, who if you missed the first term, kicked 2 goals. Richard Champion
Retired.
Had him done.
questioned whether there'd be another contract in his future. Merely asked the question. And here he is, Alex Sexton, with a chance to give the Suns back the lead. Snapping, bending. He's hit the fat side of the footy. It's not going to get there. No mark taken. Wide goes Hewitt. Ball in dispute, near side. He was superb. What about the lunging tackle?
Leg?
Connor Budrick, desperation stuff. It's going to come back in for the Suns.
What a game this has turned out to be. It is a nail-biter. Budrick towards the top of the square. Marbiel can't, but that man again. Jacob Wiedering takes it. Whistle on play. It's 50.
Descent.
Levi Casbolt.
Thought he was pushing the back, Levi.
Or should have been paid the mark. Maybe that's what he was blowing up about.
They need to get De Koning in the ruck. How is he not taking the centre square bounces against Witts at the moment?
That's a 30-metre penalty. They haven't travelled the required distance there. And Wiedering goes short laterally to Newman, to Ed Curnow.
Pitnet can't jump. They need De Koning in the centre square bounce. Give their on-ballers a look. You don't want to give up easy ball out of the middle. Witts is having his way at the moment with Pitnet in the ruck.
Fisher back to Newman. Newman just taking his time. He's got Sard lateral.
Charlie.
He's going to look for Charlie, and well he should. Charlie's, though, is out of position. De Koning flies for it, Rocky, your man. It's been quickly cleared, though. Roses Jr. Fisher for the Blues. Shot on goal! Just drifted across the face. Gee, the crowd is rising as one here at Heritage Bank Stadium. There's a lot of Blue supporters here, and they've suddenly found their voice.
The speculation is that Damien Hardwick is set to be announced as the new coach of this Gold Coast Suns outfit. And if that's true, I reckon he's probably turned his attention from the celebrations at the MCG, where two of his famous Chargers, Trent Cotchin and Jack Rewald, are farewelling the game. And he will be watching the final 5 minutes and 25 seconds of this one.
Blake Acres has had an outstanding afternoon as well. He's been everywhere. He just came across there and made a saving spoil. Collins had slipped off Curnow. Good spoil.
85-80, a 5-point lead to Carlton. Ball up. Here he is again, Rocky. Blake Acres couldn't get rid of it cleanly. He's sat upon by Ellis, and we'll have a ball up just outside of Carlton's forward 50.
So Akers gets up off the ground. Umpire throws it up. Pitnet and Witts. Ed Curnow, little one to Cripper. Short little kick is okay. I think it's been paid, has it, to Hollins? No, it's actually Owies who takes the mark. 40 out. Slide angle.
Genuine shank inside 50. You love them ones.
He's not right.
Small foot. Nah, he's very sore. You'd nearly, if they lock finals away next week, you'd nearly give him the week off, even though they have the next week off as well. You'd want him cherry right for that first final, elimination final at the MCG.
So Owies, he's kicked one this afternoon. This one would really make it tough for the Suns. He starts it online. It stays there. That might be a winning margin now, but you don't write off the Gold Coast Suns, especially here at home. He's got two, and they all get around him.
Listen to that crowd.
They're aware of what's on offer here. They could jump up. Couple of spots on the ladder. There we go. There's the crowd attendance. 19,253.
18,000 Carlton supporters too, I think.
There's a lot of them here, Rocky.
We see on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, boys. That's the reason there's a small 40 play in front for those quick kicks out of a stoppage, and always did exactly that. And it's been such a potent goal kicker for the Blues this year. He's done a great role for them up forward. And we've still got 4.5 minutes to go. These centre bounce clearances you mentioned, Rock, all important. Joe Witts needs to be at his best here to feed his on ballers and get it forward. Still plenty of time here for the Suns.
Another Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Did the crowd go up? By the way, save up to 25% on Acer Computers. Acer Aspire 3 now $388. Save $110. Limited time at Harvey Norman.
I reckon the Carlton coaches box has Triple M on at the moment, because every time we say something happens in your champs. They got De Koning in the centre bounce, which they needed to do. Witts just puts it on a platter for his on-ballers.
Cripps spun out of the tackle. McPherson, the sub for the Suns, into the game. Just having a look at Paddy Cripps through the specs. He's got a mattress under that jumper. Those ribs, Rocky, you called it. They are clearly very sore. He has not been up to his standard this afternoon. And we might know why, because of that injury. Ball in dispute on the outer side. Cottrell and McPherson, Hollins and Ainsworth. They go backwards to Kemp. Lowers the eyes. Getting front spot, though, was Budrick. Important mark. Suns, now they're the ones that need to take it on. Challenge and go down the line. Gets over the back. Levi leads the foot race. Oh, he just shoved the Carlton defender out the way. Stuck a shoulder in. Said, see you later, Chincotta. Off the deck. In space. The B-Bear. Humphrey. Went to Ellis. Goal, Suns!
Game on.
Margins back to 5 points with 3.5 to play. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
really interesting then from the Carlton Footy Club. They're up by 11 points, 3 minutes to go. You'd think they'd swing one back almost when you'd go with the 7th behind the footy, lock away finals, get it done this week. But they went 1-on-1, and Gold Coast good enough on the Harvey Norman replay to win the contest and find a way forward. Levi Casbolt, he was like a big bulldozer just going straight through the Carlton defenders then. Got the footy forward. They were out everywhere then. Humphreys decided to pass the footy off. He could have had a shot. Alice runs into an open goal, goes bang.
Gee, he could have had a shot on goal, Bailey Humphrey. He opted unselfishly to pass it short, and he had 2 options. Neither of them were great, and it was just spectacular work by Ellis.
Carlton their wingmen have gone right at the back of the square here. Numbers behind the footy.
All right, for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. This clearance a must for both teams. There's Ed Curnow, got it forward. McPherson, the sub, takes the mark. Left half back. What's he got? He's got short. He's got options galore. And now Atkins. Inside forward 50. All the Blues fly, so there should be Suns at ground level, and there was, but they just couldn't pick it up cleanly.
Charlie Curnow going behind the footy, but Mackie Andrews going with him.
This game's starting to give me kick after the siren vibes. 5 points the margin in favour of the Blues. Suns on the attack though. Sard sent it forward, but there was no one there except Harry Mackay. What a big moment for Harry.
Motlop.
2 minutes, 40 seconds. He goes lateral.
Heaps of time left.
Are Carlton good enough to possess the footy and burn some time?
It's too long.
Too long to shut up shop, isn't it, Blackie?
Yeah, I've got to just keep going forward here. Just keep taking the game on. Have their spare behind the ball. We've got to keep taking the game on. Smart and composed.
The last 4 possessions have all been lateral or backwards kicks. There's another one. Charlie Curnow has it. Everybody is in front of him on the ground. He's got 5 goals to his name. Now he's playing last line of defence for the Blues. Down the line he goes. Free kick. It's going to the Suns. Sam Collins.
Hang on. No, it's
Sam Collins. It's going to Sam Collins.
right. Okay. Yep. So it's still with the Suns. Collins just launches it as long as he can. Mac Andrew flew for it, couldn't complete the mark. Fisher for the Blues. Little handball to Newman was okay. Newman around the corner looking for De Koning. He'll be looking for the boundary line and finds it.
Just Carlton Footy Club. Mackay takes the mark, front of centre, retreats 60 metres, and then they end up kicking the ball back to exactly the same position where he was. Get the footy inside 50, wide, deep, stoppage, inside 50. Then they've got to go the length of the field. Now they've only got to go halfway, the Gold Coast Suns, and they're in this game.
1 minute and 50 left. Suns need a goal. 5 points the margin. De Koning taps it down. Matty Rowe's got to get through a Doherty tackle, and he did. Somehow at the back. Anderson, inside forward 50. Collins is down there. That's unfamiliar territory for him. Miller applies some pressure. Got to be careful not to give away a free kick, and he doesn't.
So sore, Paddy Cripps. He can't even get both hands to the footy at the moment.
It took him an eternity to get down to that footy, Paddy Cripps. 90 seconds left. Ball is at half forward for the Suns. Newman went around the body. It landed in Flanders' lap. Kick to the top of the square. Lukosius is 2-on-1. Kernow's back there playing that last line of defence for the Blues. Out of bounds on the full.
Who's free kick?
Carlton free kick.
It's going to Carlton. Jack Lukosius was lying on the ground. Charlie Curnow will get the free kick. 1 minute 18 left, and Charlie's going to dump down the line.
It's exactly what he does. De Koning's there. Anderson flies for it. Here's the numbers. Collins has it. Miller, Ballard, wrapped up. Somehow got boot on ball. It's inside forward 50 for the Suns. Spills free. Whistle on play, holding on. Gold Coast free kick, I think.
Execution's been really poor here from Carlton. They need to go wide. They kicked that 25 metres in from the boundary line.
So here they go. Levi! One chop at it, couldn't complete the mark. Spills free, and another throw in out of side. 40 out from the Suns' goal.
Still plenty of time, 48 seconds left there. The Blues, they just got to get it long and wide. You're right, get numbers out there, turn up at ground level for the Suns. They've got to get some real speed and movement through this boundary throw and get some on-ballers, some small forwards through the stoppage. Heaps of numbers around the ball here. Going to have to be skillful.
Everyone except for Sam Collins and Harry Mackay in the Suns forward 50. Swallow burst through. Gave it back to Anderson. We know he can kick a match winner. He's missed. He's pulled it near side. 35 seconds left. Carlton will bring it in. You'd think they just need to find a single target.
Charlie Curnow's coming out. They just need to get a contest 1 metre from the boundary line. Punch it out.
Fisher goes short to the pocket. Suns must man up. Jack
gotta
Martin
go man.
has it.
Exactly right, Flanners.
Suns must man up. They need to take a mark. Martin kicks to a contest down the line. Mackay flies. Colin forward. Ellis. Flanders quick hands to Lemons. Inside forward 50. It's long to the square. They need a mark. Nothing taken. There is. It's Charlie.
Wow.
Of course it's Charlie. 5 goals down the other end. And now he's marked the footy that's going to send them back to the finals for the first time in a decade.
That's a Leo Barriou star moment right there. That is exactly the same, but at the opposite end of the ground.
Siren's going to sound as Charlie Curnow lets fly.
Great game of footy.
What a game of footy we've just witnessed here on the Gold Coast. The Blues prevail by 4 points.
Our end up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark Blues.
The Gold Coast Suns made them earn it, but Carlton going back to finals. 13-13-91. They prevailed by 4 points over the Gold Coast Suns. 13-9-87 off the back of a 5-goal effort from the Coleman medalist in waiting, Charlie Curnow.
Yeah, outstanding performance. There's no doubting that. Charlie Curnow, who's the difference in the game today. And then he got swung back late, took a couple of important intercept marks and 1 free kicks. But the Gold Coast Suns were outstanding all day today. They came to play from the first minute of the game and jumped out of the blocks. Carlton's slow to react, but there's plenty of lessons out of that game, I think, for Michael Voss and his coaching staff about how they finished that game. Going into finals, you need to find a way to win those close ones, and they need to execute better in those last moments, because they gave Gold Coast an opportunity to pinch that game. They had a chance. They missed a couple of goals, so there'll be a bit to review out of that, but take them back to the promised land. It's great for AFL footy when Carlton are going well. There's no doubting that. Can't wait for the first week of finals. There'll be 100,000 Carlton supporters at the MCG.
Yeah, it's a great call. It is fantastic. Collingwood, Carlton, any of the big four,
Carlton crowd.
Essendon, Richmond. It's ridiculous. They're all hanging around in the stands at the moment to congratulate their team. And well, they were trailing at every major turn. The Blues, the Suns, you never count them out. They really come back again in that final turn. They had opportunities, Blackie, and just couldn't quite get the job done. But the Blues, that's 9 in a row now. It's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, look, after quarter time, it was really just the first quarter. It was first quarter, the Suns jumped out of the blocks. The Blues were still at their hotel. Really, they were really poor. But once after that point, they were the better team. And they could have won by more, had more opportunities, hit 1 goal, 7 in the third quarter, got their game going, been the best side of the competition the last 2 months, really. 8 straight wins, so they got their game going. One was a bit clunky, not as good as they can play, but they were superb in the end. They deserve to win, and they have got probably the best player in the competition right now in Charlie Curnow. He is an absolute star. What he did to go back there the last 10 minutes, 5 minutes of that game to influence the contest early a few times was absolutely fantastic, and Michael Voss will be very proud of his group. And Voss under a lot of pressure 2 months ago. The ability to grind and hold his nerve and do what they've done as a group, they should be very proud. And those Carlton supporters, geez, I've celebrated this afternoon.
20,000 turned up this afternoon to witness this game. This is the Triple M Amy review. Submit your fan clanger story to amy.com.au/fansurance and you could win. The Macca's I'm loving it moment. Well, I'll tell you what, that final quarter delivered some really wonderful moments, and tonight's I'm loving it moment did happen in that final quarter, and here's how the one and only Richard Champion called it on Triple M Footy.
Mac Andrew punches it away. Quick kick forward there by Newman. Who's on the end of it? Charlie Curnow. Look at the kick to Harry Mackay. Hey, Harry, kick the bloody thing. He does. I thought he was going to get run down. He didn't know, he had zero awareness. It was like an 85-year-old walking down the sidewalk when you're trying to get by him. They don't know they're there. And he's kicked the goal. The Blues are back in front.
Oh, Richard Champion, a warning to all the 85-year-olds out there. If Champs comes behind you on the street, he's not happy with how you're walking.
Just have some awareness. Like we're trying to get by you.
Yeah, like turn up on time.
This is the Triple M Amy review. And look, McDonald's for McDonald's Ream Hot Water. What a game of footy we've just witnessed. This week you can score 20% off your entire order when you spend $10 only on the My Macca's app. Simon Black furiously scribbling away because the Triple M MVP award for Case IH is his to decide today. The votes for that. Case IH leaders in agricultural machinery. It's what we do. A couple of other games. Obviously, there's one going on at the moment. There's one already finished. The Tigers sending Jack Rewalt and Trent Cotchin off in style with a win over the Kangaroos at the MCG. And right now it is GWS who've got a 13-point lead over the Bombers. That game happening in Sydney at the moment, and they are right next to each other on the ladder, 9v10, so that is a huge game from a finals perspective. Blackie, let's look at these votes. The Triple M MVP award for Case IH. Case IH leaders in agricultural machinery. It's what we do.
Yeah, one vote goes to Newman. He gets the one vote, 31 disposals, 13 contested, 4 tackles. He had a superb couple of months, so he was, again, very prolific today. Going to give the 2 votes to David Swallow. He's an old favourite of mine. He kicked the 4 goals. What a warrior he's been. He was really, really important to the Suns today. And the 3 votes go to the great Charlie Curnow. He had 18 disposals, 11 of those contested, 2 score assists and 5 goals to match as he makes his way down to the Carlton end of the ground. And all the cheer squad is behind the goals, and they're absolutely roaring to see their hero.
There was 19,000 here. I think there's still 18,000 in the stands at the moment. All Carlton supporters just lapping this up.
And
Charlie
they're coming
Curnow
down to the front too. Look at them from the top tier all the way down to the fence. You mentioned it. You know, it's a great sight when Carlton is playing finals football, and I think it's been 10 years.
Yeah, it's a great thing for AFL footy. They're passionate. Lygon Street, all those areas in Carlton will be absolutely pumping, and they get the opportunity to play a home final at the MCG. It's just going to be a blockbuster September this year. There's so many unknowns. They're probably the number 1 seed going into finals at the moment. They're the most informed team in the competition. They were pushed today but found a way to win, and Charlie Curnow just soaking it up as he runs past us here in the commentary box.
We've got a fair Gold Coast listening audience as well, and this is the last Gold Coast game we'll be calling for the season. So can I just say... well done to Stewie Jew on his career. I think he's done a great job here with the Suns. I thought he was a little stiff to get outed, but it looks like they've got they chase their man. It looks like they're going to get him. It hasn't officially been announced yet, but Dimmer will be coaching this team next year. Stephen King did a really good job as fill-in, I think, and it's been a pretty solid season for them. I mean, they took on some of the best and they beat the best. And they've been really competitive for the majority of their games this year. So to the Gold Coast Suns, well done on a good year.
I agree. You go on that journey from being non-competitive to really competitive, and they've really gone up the scale of that, champs. And there's some individuals in that team that have taken some big steps. You mentioned Lukosius, Noah Anderson, enormous.
Mac Andrew.
Flanders. There's been quite a few, and they're better for longer in games. That's the key to growth, and that's what they've got. So unfortunate for Stewie Jew, as you said, but going to get a big acquisition in Dimmer by the sounds of it.
This is the perfect result for them today, to be honest. Like, they were in that game, pushed one of the best teams in the competition at the moment, but they don't lose a draft pick. They retain almost pick 4, so to fall just short. But Dimmer Hardwick, he'll watch that review and be so happy with how they performed today.
All right, well, Choice Hotels around the grounds. Whatever your reason for travelling, you'll get the lowest price guarantee when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead and book it. The Tigers got the win. The Giants lead the Bombers. And here it was Carlton prevailing by 4 points, 91-87, as the crowd invades the ground.
Thank goodness they've got that rope there.
Security is standing there.
The fans here at Heritage Bank Stadium take the absolute you-know-what out of the security after these games. They put up this feeble piece of string and they have 4 blokes in high vis waving, saying, "Don't come in here." and every single peanut runs straight through the middle of the centre circle. It is.
I don't know who's had a worse day, the security guards out there or Richard Champion.
Me, I think, yeah.
This is like a mini version of Buddy Franklin's 1,000th goal. They've got no hope of stopping him here. Richard Champion, to you for finally turning up.
Yeah,
4 minutes after the bounce. Thank you. Simon Black, you made it for the bounce. You were still 9 minutes late by my watch. Tom Rockcliffe, you were outstanding.
Oh,
Flawless.
it's
Zero
hard.
mistakes.
It's hard to be perfect.
Just ask him.
Yes. To the boys in the back, Belinda Mellon for Bob Jane T-Mark. She was probably best on ground. She was here early. She was prepped. She'd done it all.
She said 4 words.
And to Carlton, who prevailed by 4 points and guaranteed themselves final. Well done for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
Love you, B.